What's happening, folks? Getting settled in. I got bub all over me here, so I apologize. Oh, Bubs, come on now. All right, you're fine. You're fine, Chief. All right. All right, well, let's see who pops in for tonight's show once the notifications get out there. Let's switch this to live chat. Anna Lee, how you doing tonight? All right. All right, you're okay for now? Tammy, how you doing? Meredith's not home yet. I got Bub here on my lap, making a mess again. All right, go do your thing, Bubs. No, you're fine for now. You're fine. You're a mess. All right. All right, you're fine. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, Mari, how you doing? Zena, hello, hello. LB, good to see everybody. Giselle, we're just waiting on Annette. I have not talked to her today, but I sent her the link a little while ago. So she should be here any minute now. Hey, Joy, good to see you again. Bonnie, Lisa, Linda, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another one of my many cabins. Plenty of space if you want to crash on the couch. Does that pull out? Hold on. That does. I think I've used this backdrop before, but it was time again, I thought. All right, Pubs, you're fine. Yeah. All right, stop sniffing. You can't have that. Be there. All right, Annette is on her way. She just texted, so that's good. Linda, how you doing? Oh, Jelly Belly, hello. Glenn, good to see you again. Nydia, hi. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better, Nydia. Hey, Tweet Scotchy, good to see you again. Oh, Sandra, hello. Sandra Sparapani, Italian, Sandra. Jessica, how you doing? Yeah, welcome to the cabin. Once again, I should have a fun show tonight. Got a lot of great questions last night in our live. So that'll be fun. I actually went to the my friend's studio today just to have a good conversation there. I'm actually going to do a live show with Linda Sabo. You know, she's the change worker, the hypnotherapist, all that stuff. She's going to have an online workshop later this month. So I'm going to do that with her Tuesday at noon. Now, I know it's a weird time, but we're really just sort of testing things out. But I think it's a good shot to try a live show in the middle of the day. Obviously, it's not a Christmas vacation week, so you won't have crazy numbers like when Annette and I did that a little while back. But I think Linda likes the live thing and wants to engage with folks. So if you're around, she'd love to answer your questions in real time and talk about her class and what she's learned the last few weeks. So she's great to have conversations with. So there is that. So again, noon, Tuesday, Eastern time. We'll be live with Linda Sabo. I'm away Friday through Monday this week. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina with friends for a little bit just to get out of town. And then Meredith and I are waiting for permits to pass for construction to start on this house. And we know what happens next then. I'm hoping to start building out the new bridge studio space downstairs. So I'll keep everyone posted on that. So thanks for your patience. It's going to be a while, but we're pretty excited about it. And we'll be moving into a temporary home and continuing what we do here in the meantime. So there is that. Jessica, Bubba just had one already. He's had several. So he's now crashed out behind me. Old guy, how you doing? Oh, incognito user, how you doing? Nice to see your name. Moonrise Mystic Tarot. There you go. Yeah, come on over, Moonrise, if you want to pop in. Cheryl, Tracy, how you doing? Old guy, do you have an endless supply of winter-themed sweaters? I think I'm down to like maybe just 3 now, and 3, maybe 4, but I think 2. I think the Fa La La Llama has seen its last days. I think that's got to go. The one with the wreath that Annette also has, I might keep just because she has the same one, even though that thing is sort of starting to fall apart over time too. So this is a keeper, and maybe by this time next year we'll have some weirder sweaters to share. So we'll see. When I was in Iceland, the last couple of times I've gone, you know, I don't know if you know this at all, but there's always the Nordic and Scandinavian sweaters that you see, the themed sweaters, and it's a big thing in Iceland. And I went everywhere I went to try to buy one of those things. They were like hundreds of dollars for a sweater, so I didn't get it. So anyway, all right, without further ado, here is our resident psychic. Once again on Annette's iPad, let me change that for as our audio kicks in. Fingers crossed that this works out tonight. A little slower than I want it to be.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're good. It's good.
I have no excuse.
I got you in there. How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah.
Everything's good on my lifetime. Well, I'm in the back.
Let's see. Yeah, we have a big crowd filing in already. We already hit 100 already as people are just kind of getting settled. So I'll say my hellos.
What are you doing? Is it just your unending exuding charm, or what is it?
Oh, people can't wait for Wednesday evenings with another edition of Ask Annette.
They set their timer on their phone.
Yeah. Arlene, how you doing? Wow, LB is getting the snacks. Yuba, hello. Oh, Neeru, good to see you. Michelle, SC, Sean. Wow, Sean's back too. Judy, Joanne. Oh, Celtic Tarot Sheila, hello. Joan of Art.
Oh, hi, Celtic Tarot Sheila. I like having other tarot readers in the chat. We can compare notes.
Yeah, it's a who's who.
That's
Donna,
great.
how you doing? Sherry. All the colors of yarn are carried across the back of the knitting. Good.
Me and Sheila should do a collab sometime.
You heard it, Sheila.
You heard it here. I've been striking out on doing collabs because it just doesn't work out for some reason. So maybe third time's a charm.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot. I'm ready if anyone else wants to do that. Melissa, how you doing tonight? Lisi, CM, good to see everybody. Okay, so Annette, we have a lot of things actually to unpack and get to. It's kind of fun.
You mean now, literally? You mean like boxes?
Yeah, there's some fun stuff here to share.
There's a lot of news to unpack too, so I didn't know we have a lot of stuff. It's a big umbrella.
What do you want to do first? You want to get to the news, or you want to get to the opening here?
Oh no, let's start off with the lightness.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. By the way, Sheila says yes to the collab.
Okay, definitely. We'll reach AnnetteDion7@gmail.com.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, hi, I'm Corey. She's Annette. This is the Psychic and the Sidekick. Your psychic is Annette Dion. She has her own channel here and a website, psychicannetteDion.com. If you want to book a personal reading, Annette and I field your questions in real time every Wednesday evening here on Bridge Cape Am. These are marathon sessions with lots of banter, lots of fun, a great community in our live chat. So if you're new, check us out. Get used to our moderators. Annalee's in there now. I think Christian's supposed to be popping in, and I know Thankful Mom was around from last night too. So we'll see what kind of help. And Annalee's always first to the classroom. So already swinging her wrench, which is great.
I feel like it's like a part-time job for one of these wielders of the wrench. Like,
yeah, we have to hook them up at some point.
We should tip them.
Yeah, we absolutely should. So, okay, so there is that. So welcome. Now, Annette and I, we get all sorts of cool correspondence from around the world and some nice gifts that we want to share with folks. Yeah. Oftentimes, Annette and I, especially in the warmer months, are actually outdoors and side by side, where we literally have dinner with everybody.
People miss that. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Oh, we miss you being outside. I'm like, well, it's below 30 right now.
It's 18 right now, yeah.
We could like put our down jackets on, mittens, and be on the back porch with Bob. Baba probably doesn't even go out in that weather.
No, he doesn't even like this. Yeah, he doesn't like it at all. Yeah.
What you got in your background there?
We're back in the cabin, one of the cabins.
I've seen that one before.
Yeah, it's time to bring it back.
You went back to your home in the mountains?
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
You multi-millionaire, you? How many properties do you have?
In my mind. Yeah, we have lots of new names in the chat tonight.
Oh, good. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, welcome. So, all right, Annette, let's get to some things right off the bat here.
Okay, I'll be smudging while you're unpacking boxes.
Okay. So
I have your smudge. Remember I gave this to you and then I kept it?
Yeah, the Wonder Joint. Okay, give it a couple puffs.
Oh, ready now.
All right. So Annette, we got a lovely letter
Oh,
All right. This is from Brenda Ewer. Okay.
sounds
And
familiar.
Brenda, yep. Brenda says, Dear Annette and Corey, I'm sending you some stickers I made in an effort to get our politicians to pay attention to the fact that the majority of Americans want to ban assault rifles.
Oh, good. You're good. I was looking for somebody to do some artwork.
Okay.
Yeah, I was looking. I put the call out for that. Yeah, let's do it. I'm starting to sell merch on my website.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So she says, please put them on a pole, a wall, your car if inclined. I know many people don't like bumper stickers on their car or even have a car, just display it in your house. They're free. If anyone in your audience wants one, they can send their address to BrendaPaint@gmail.com. And that sounds exactly as I say it. BrendaPaint, PAINT @gmail.com. Thanks for sharing this info. And that is from, like I said, Brenda Ewer. You see that?
She painted it. She
Cool, huh?
painted it, right?
That's my guess. Yep, she
Brenda
made these
Paint.
herself. She designed them herself. So
@gmail.com. Okay, let's all get some of those. I have a leased car, so I can't put bumper stickers on my car, but I can put it here,
okay.
like, just to advertise it.
So Annette, so I have a bunch of these. She sent a bunch actually. So I have a bunch for
Okay,
you there.
good.
Okay.
Good, I'll do that. Does it have any information about like an organization to
No.
or just curious?
Yep.
We have a list of gun control organizations, Grassroots of Democracy. I'm really looking to expand that group this year. We work on everything. We are Democrat, we're defenders of democracy. So we have a whole list of petitions and organizations to work with and to contribute to.
Cool.
So we're on it.
And
Good.
Brenda's from Santa Fe, by the way. So hello, Santa Fe.
Hello, Santa Fe.
Also got a very nice holiday card from Susan Cox. I know Susan Cox had sent you a package before,
Yes.
but then she also sent a card to me and Meredith and Bubba. So thanks for that, Susan. That's very sweet.
Nice. Yeah, she sent me the amaryllis. I used it as a prop at my church of spirituality on Sunday. I don't know
cool.
if it was applicable to what I was doing a sermon about.
Yeah, so thanks. So if you want to correspond with us, you can always email me at hello@bridgecapeman.com. We also have a PO Box 5432, and then I are coming to you from Gloucester, Massachusetts. Annalie will pop that up for you too, 01930. So there is that. But wait, there's more. Speaking of Annalie.
Oh, and if they send it to the wrong PO box, they'll just hand it off to either of us because it's a tiny little post office.
Yeah, there's actually, on that thought, there's more of that in just a second.
Yeah, I'm 5295.
Annalie knew we were running low on peeps, Annette. So
I got those ones that peeps with the peppermint, the little, white peeps with the peppermint. Those were really good. Yeah.
Those are the candy cane peeps. We have more snowmen and gingerbread men.
All right.
I just had a gingerbread man in my my hot chocolate a little while ago. So thanks for
That's
that,
the best
Annalie.
use. In the winter, that's the best use of your peep. How many boxes do you have?
These are for you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay,
right.
So I have those for you.
I'll just swing by.
There's more in that.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I feel so abundant.
Because we also got a care package from someone named Old Guy.
Good old guy.
Old Guy?
Old guy gets a bell.
And Old Guy pays attention because he knows that Annette she loves her black licorice.
Yes, I love my black licorice. My housemates do too, so I have to hide it.
Yeah, so this is all the way from West Central Colorado. So thanks, Old Guy. We have licorice all sorts. Yep. All right, I have those for you, Annette. We've got there are circus peanuts here.
Oh yeah, you like those, right?
Well, no, did I ever tell you my Whoopi Goldberg story when we were hanging out? She would always send us. Whoopi Goldberg was a bartender here in Gloucester for a couple of years. Yeah. It's a long story, but it's really true. And I got friendly with her, and whenever she would send me out on a run to do some shopping for her, it was Marlboro Red cigarettes and circus peanuts.
Oh, was she smoking cigarettes?
Yeah, she was then.
Like for real, or was she just playing? Because I felt like when she was bartending down here at Captain Carlos, she was just like, we were all like, are you getting ready for a movie role as a bartender? Like, what are you doing here?
It's a long.
She loved Gloucester.
Yeah. And then Old Guy also sent peach rings. You ever had these peach rings before?
I think so. Are they like Sour Patch kind of thingies?
They're kind of like, they taste like peach,
They're not sour though, right?
not sour.
No. Thank
Okay.
you.
So you got all kind of candies there. So I'll have these packed up for you. And we're not done yet, Annette.
I feel like we're children. You know how people give children sweets all the time?
Yeah,
They
I tell
must
you.
feel like we're their children.
We have an audience of great aunts and uncles.
It's true. We're all family.
It's a beautiful thing.
Give the relatives some candy and keeps them happy.
All I'm going to tell you, Annette, is that this package came from Lulu and it's wrapped like this. I'm not going to open this. I want you can open this on your channel. I know what these are already.
It keeps disappearing.
And I'm trying to I have to put it in front of my body. Okay.
It's a bag. It's just a bag. It's a bag of green things.
There's stuff in there. There's stuff in that bag. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna unwrap that. I know what it is. You can do that tonight. Okay.
Green is the color of the night, I see.
Mm.
You have your
That's why-
green reindeer sweater on in your
Yeah.
cabin.
So we've got a box of goodies for you, Dion. So can you swing by tonight on your way home?
I can. It just depends. You can leave them out because I leave here late.
Yeah, I'm up late too working. So
Okay. I don't want to bother you.
okay. So we
I
want
don't
to
want to bother
thank.
you for peeps. I mean,
I know. Well, but you're gonna want to open the other ones.
I thought you moved.
We had not yet. We just started to over the weekend. We're starting to move more stuff in there. So we're waiting for the permits to finally pass and then construction to start. So
So next week you might be there.
maybe I'm guessing within 2 weeks we'll be down there.
Are we going to do the in studio professional thing?
We can figure that out. I'm going to do a live thing during the day with Linda Sabo, the hypnotherapist, on Tuesday, just to do further testing and see how that goes. And then our schedule won't change. And then we'll try to just get in another day and do some more studio stuff. As
And
our schedule permits.
while we're talking about locations, the last show, February 1st, I'll be at an actual cabin and we can do the show from, it'll probably look much like, your real cabin.
You could save the money and just get a background like this.
That's true, but change of scenery is important. Going to New Hampshire.
Yeah. So very nice. So again, thanks to Barbara Ewer, Susan Cox, Lulu, Old Guy, and Annalie for sending that stuff. We really appreciate it. Very sweet of all of you.
It keeps us going. It keeps us motivated.
Yeah, very cool. All right, Christian has joined the chat. How you doing, Christian? Grab your wrench and get in
Does
there.
Christian get a bell? Do we have a list of people that get a bell?
No, we kind of self-police that. But yeah.
His first show was just you.
I know. Now it's usually every time the channel gets tipped, right? We ring the bell.
That should be a different bell.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. We'll come up with something like that. That's what
This
I'm working
bell
on
for
next
the
week.
Tips.
Yeah.
All right.
So
We'll
there you
figure it
have it. So, okay. So welcome once again, folks. That ends our pre-show, the unboxing part of the show.
We just plowed through it in 15 minutes. That was good. That's a record.
Yeah, that's good for us. So
Well,
now
I'm always late. Sorry, I'm always late.
that's okay. We'll let you, what do you want to start with tonight? Do you want to start with the community card or do you want to start with the moon phase?
I don't even know where the moon is. Let me see. The moon is in Virgo.
Mm.
It's a good earthy, grounded kind of a day. But look out for that self-criticism. Look out for seeing things through the eyes of a critic, especially oneself. I mean, we all do that to some degree. Every sign has its challenges. For Virgo, the challenge is to not be self-critical. The thing about Virgo is it's a good time to get organized. It's a good time to kind of line things up, to go over your taxes or to clear out clutter. Or, Virgo is about getting it together. Everybody needs a good Virgo in their life. Pretty sure my assistant is a Virgo, and boy, Virgos can really clean up that Sagittarian mess.
That's one way to put it.
It's amazing. I'm so grateful for the Virgos in my life. They're usually like, accountants, nurses, anything that requires a lot of attention to detail. And I'm like the opposite of attention to detail to a fault, to the point that it annoys people. Like I meant to be here right on the dot, but I never seem to be able to
It
do.
works out fine.
Yeah, but just making the point, it's like Virgos tend to be right by the letter. But there's so many different aspects in a chart. But as far as the general energy of the moon, if we kind of follow the moon and follow which sign the moon is in and learn about the different signs. I'm not an astrologer. I've just done thousands of readings in my life, and I've just learned about the different signs, mostly from the energy of the person that is that sign. So it's good to follow the moon the moon sign changes every like 2.5 days. So if you have a calendar like the Llewellyn calendar, that's really great to track what's going on, because sometimes you might be having a day like, wow, what's going on? Like this morning with all the airlines, like all the airplanes in the United States on the ground, Mercury's retrograde. That's kind of typical of Mercury retrograde, although it's not a typical incident, and we can get into that. While I'm speaking of calendars, my niece's lunar calendar for 2023 is on my website for sale. I know, I apologize, it's so hard to see, but it has the different phases of the moon and hand sketched, hand drawn painstakingly. She's a very gifted artist. And so I'm starting to sell merch on my website too. Speaking of products, I am giving away a free gift to people who book a reading by January 3rd. It has to be in the month of January. This is my 10th year anniversary of releasing a self-published book that I was just looking for. Like, where did I put it?
That's so weird. One of our questions tonight, Annette, was what is the title of your self-published book?
7 days.
I swear we got that last night. I swear to you, I think it might have been Anna.
I know. Hang on. Here it is. I have to order them now. They're on Amazon, but I have to order them now because I'm offering the book for free. I wrote it in 2013.
Martinia Butler. Where can you buy Annette's self-published book, and what is the name of her book?
You can buy it. I think it's on my website, but you can get it for free if you book a reading in January. That's what I'm saying. You get a free gift. I'm going to autograph it for you. So I've just had to order a bunch from Amazon. The 7-day key to living inspiration and empowerment, getting what you want. Now, when I released it in 2013, I didn't really promote it. That's just like the story of my life with my music too. It's just like, if I had a marketer, I'd be in that cabin. Like I would own that cabin.
Maybe snoozing on the couch right now.
So anyway, if you can book your appointment right on my website, psychicannettedion.com, and I'll autograph and send you a book. You have to indicate if you want the free gift. I'm not just going to send it to you, just like push it on you. Also, the month of January, every Saturday, I'm having a series on the law of attraction. This Saturday is the power of words. psychicannettedion.com. It's all there. Just click on classes.
There you have it. And folks, if it seems like I'm distracted at all and you're new to the channel, I'm actually having a conversation with Annette, right? I'm looking at you. This is me looking at Annette. I'm also following the live chat as well. And then our questions that we've gathered for Annette are over here on another computer. So I tend to dart around while Annette's doing her thing. So anyway.
I was teasing Corey last week saying, people were complaining he was ignoring me.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not. I'm just trying to tune into all channels here. So
I know, and I'm always like, I'm so used to people ignoring me, and I'm like, yeah, even Corey's ignoring me.
No. So, all right, Annette, let's start with a community card to see how the night's gonna go here.
I like the way you just orchestrated that.
It's a transition.
Let's do, yeah. You tell me what to do, and I'll just do it.
And by the way, for those tuning in late, we did not see Yoon last night in the live chat, so we're waiting for her tonight.
I was talking to someone yesterday who said, who wants me to go to India with her to go to the ashram, and she said, we can stop in Singapore and see you.
Sure.
Like that's part of the itinerary. Like, I don't know if I want to go to India again. It's such a long trip. It's really taxing on your body to take a trip. Don't you think? You said you've been to Australia. It's like couple days.
Christine Estes has purchased your book on Amazon.
Thank you. Oh, that gets a bell. There's a couple things in it that are dated. I am going to be working, pretty soon this month anyway, get started on a revised edition. What do you call it when you revised? Oh, I keep wanting to say remixed, revised edition.
Yeah.
The anniversary
Oh,
edition,
that's what
right?
you're doing?
Yeah, I'm changing because there's a little place, if anyone has a book where it says for worksheets, go to this website, and it doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. Did
You can
you?
make your own worksheet based on the information there.
Hmm.
You know, it was just a little added thing that it doesn't work anymore, but you can definitely just take out a notepad and do a worksheet that way. It's not like you're missing any of the content. So I'm picking 3 cards for the collective for.
And which deck are we using tonight on that?
Well, the one that was right in front of me was Tarot of the Divine. Remember that kind of like cartoons?
Yep.
The 3 of Coins. We are, despite the the drama and the trauma we're all feeling. The 3 of Coins indicates this card always to me has the feeling of building from scratch. So we are rebuilding from scratch. I always, because I have the Psychic News Network, I'm always kind of focusing what we're talking about for the collective on what's going on in the United States, which affects the whole world. So, I mean, in other countries, what happens there affects the whole world too. So just speaking of, because most of us are here, this is about rebuilding from, like, we're at the very beginning stages and see these monster looking people with the masks in the back. They look kind of scary, like they're representing dark spirits or something. This is, I love this card, really illustrates what I'm thinking. As long as we are keeping in the positive and in the light and staying lighthearted, that's what we attempt to do here. Bring the vibration up. Despite all that, we still have to stay positive and active and involved and just knowing, intending for the best possible, course of events to be occurring. The 10 of Coins, we're going to hear a lot about money and corruption. Money corruption. That's what we're witnessing right now is all connected to money and corruption. That's what the 10 of Coins is saying. Just to keep it in perspective, if you took money out of politics, if you took the dark money out of like the Supreme Court and all politics and everything, it would be a completely different thing. So just to keep it in perspective, the reason we're having all this chaos is all because of corruption and dark money. Maybe I'm stating the obvious, but then I'm just saying right now, that's what we're seeing first and foremost. And the Page of Cups is, I'm really feeling like this has to do with the justice system and playing it like a little bit undercover in terms of the page is like, we're going to get little blips of news, little like, oh, wow, that's interesting. No, that's interesting, but not really the whole enchilada for a little bit. Not this month, not quite this month, but I'm sensing a lot of needing to keep a low profile because of the GOP acting in fascist ways. That's where we're at. We're facing fascism. Staring right down the barrel of fascism right now. We are. I wish I was just saying that. I wish I was just exaggerating. I really do. I wish I was like, just go, metaphorically speaking, or no, that's exactly what's happening.
And we are underway.
Get that?
All right. Hot off the blocks here, folks. It is the top of the hour now. Welcome to another edition of the Psychic and the Sidekick. She is your psychic, Annette Dion. You can get a reading with her at psychicannetteDion.com. And I am Corey from Bridge Cape Ann, and we do the show together every Wednesday evening for you at 6:30 Eastern time. So there is that. Annette, are you locked in with your guides?
I love when you ask me that. They never leave. Are you here? Yeah, they're still here.
Well, I did have one question because we always talk about which deck you're going to use each week. So,
oh yeah, that was a little random. It was just right in front of me.
Well, here's my question though, Annette, is like, why do you have different decks? And do different decks serve different purposes, or do you get different reads from the designs of different, like why so many decks? And
well, a lot of like psychic impressions are feelings of something like kind of pulling you, you know what I mean? That's like an impression is it's like, feels like go this way and you don't really know why. So it might feel like, well, these are real pretty, so I'll just use these. It's not, I mean, some psychics might be like, oh, I have to use this deck for this kind of person. I don't really, sometimes just for the fun of it, if I have a few in front of me, I'll see what the pendulum says, but I can read anything. It's my best friend. When I lived in Nashville, if I had a question, she's psychic too. So I would call her up and be like, hey, can you do a reading for me? And she'd be like, well, I don't have my cards in front of me. Let me see if I can look out the window and read that tree. Literally. This is my best friend, of course, right?
Mhm.
Who's going to be coming up to New Hampshire, which is great.
Nice.
So she's like, well, looking at the tree, I feel like it has to do with your family roots. Things will be raining down like leaves. It was funny, but it was accurate. But I'm just making the point that we can read anything, really. Let me just check just for entertainment, just to see, does one deck feel more like it resonates with tonight than the other? So the Dark Forest deck, yeah, actually the Tarot of the Divine,
Hmm.
the one I'm using.
All right.
Might just resonate with the collective group we have here,
True.
the most.
All right. Are we ready to roll?
Yeah, I feel like I should show you this, for those who don't know the deck. Tarot of the Divine. Remember I told you a couple months ago I got it. Was at Marshall's and I'm like, what are they doing with tarot decks at Marshall's? Cheap but fun. Tarot decks aren't expensive.
Yeah.
In general, unless you get a really fancy one or a one that's dated. Like there's one called the Voyager deck that I have from years ago, and I think I showed it to you before. Did I show you that deck?
I don't know if you did.
I might pull that out. It's right across the room and use it somewhat. Somebody told me that now it's like over $100 for this deck.
Oh, wow.
So ask the question. I'm going to grab it just because I'm talking about it.
What's the question?
What's your first question?
Well, so our first batch of questions that we got last night, the most popular topic was the documents found in Biden's office.
What's the question?
Carol Poulin. Were these government documents found in President Biden's office planted there by Trump or someone associated with him?
Corey, just because we've been doing this so long now, tell me about that question.
Well, the assumptions are in there.
You're very good. I'm impressed.
I
Yeah.
know. And again, I just copy and paste from the live chat. So let's break down the question.
So what's the assumption in that question?
Well, planted by Trump, right?
No, planted. Planted is and I really just feel strongly about pointing this out. This is how rumors get started. Nobody said they were planted. I mean, nobody, that's not a factual thing. And it's just, the game of telephone, when by the time the message gets to the 30th person, it's a completely different story. We were going through this a lot with the Harry questions.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Voyager deck.
Mm.
I'm going to ask the pendulum if that's a good one to use for this question.
Okay.
No. We'll go with Tarot of the Divine. It's a vibration thing, but it's, it's not like it's wrong if I read the other deck. It's just that this one's preferable.
Should we send Carol Poulin to her room without dessert?
Just trying to be a teacher. I'm a Sag. Sagittarians are always teaching something.
No, this is
And then we get accused of being bossy and, know-it-alls, but, I have heard it said that a lot of Sagittarians have the complaint, like, nobody understands. I'm just, I don't think I know it. Everything. I just come off like I think I know everything.
it's just as attractive.
I guess. I also have said a bossy Sag is a happy Sag.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at that question and just so I can decide how to answer it, just read it again.
Were the government documents found in President Biden's office planted there by Trump or someone associated with him? Were they planted?
That's the question.
Mhm.
That is the question.
Were
The
they
rest of it goes down conspiracy lane.
Yeah.
Were they planted? Which is a pendulum question, but I pulled 3 cards also. Were the secret documents found in Biden's, where were they found? I barely paid attention to the story because it was just like, oh, here they're gonna go.
I think a closet in his office.
Okay. Were they planted? All right, I have to ask a better question. Did somebody know they were there and not tell Biden that they knew they were there? No. So what else can I ask? Did Joe Biden know that they were there, but just kind of forgot about it? I'm getting a yes on that. I mean, Fox is turning in, Fox is just like jumping up and down in glee. It was a kind of thing that they were there, and I can't even imagine having the jobs that Biden has had, that you'd be able to keep track of everything. I don't know what kind of documents they were. I don't know how top secret they were, because there are different levels. My takeaway, honestly, was it happens often. When it happens, there's a protocol, and it was addressed on the very day that they were discovered, and Joe Biden followed the protocol. So I can feel preachiness coming on. You're gonna have to reel me in.
Anna Lee?
Is that Anna Lee, the wielder of the wrench?
Yep.
Really? We are addicted to drama, right? So we really have to, in order to see clearly, we have to, because we're programmed to be addicted to drama. Honestly, remember when we didn't have reality TV shows?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's when that all kind of started, where we became addicted to drama and sensationalism. And so without even realizing it, it's a completely innocent thing that happens. Our brains, unless we keep it in check, our brains will go to, wow, this is really dramatic. This is a big breaking news. How many times breaking news came once a year? Honestly,
Everything's
maybe a couple times a year. When you heard the words breaking news, it was like, oh my God, something huge just happened, like September 11th, for God's sake. So now the brain is a funny thing. It will automatically just go to that. This is big, this is conspiracy. And my impression is it happens often when presidents are moving from one place to another. And when it happens, there's a protocol. Now, just by comparison, when they found out that Trump had all these thousands upon thousands of top secret documents, he was given, I don't know how many, it was a lot of opportunities to just say, to be apologetic, to be like, oh, so I didn't know, that was an oversight. They gave him an opportunity to do that, which indicates that apparently that is something that does happen quite frequently, that the FBI and the records offices, they just go, oh, well, okay, since that happened, well, we do need them back, right? So there is a procedure, And then when they're handed back, then it's no big deal as long as they sort of dot all their I's and cross all their T's. Where you going?
I had to shut the door.
So there is, you know, it does happen. And when it happens, that's what they do. The reason the FBI searched, not raided Mar-a-Lago, searched, not raided Mar-a-Lago. I'm not going to say it again, I promise.
I don't believe that. I think it might be the next thing that comes out of your mouth.
You can say it. You can say it. They were cornered. There was nothing else they could do. We had all this dangerous, this information about our enemies, but that's been leaked about our spies, about our military, all this stuff that had been out there for what, a year and a half? That they asked and asked and asked, please give it back. Please give it back. There'll be no problem. Just give it back. And he refused. And he said, no, I won't give them back. They're mine. And then 6 people on the FBI, to the tune of, people almost got killed when that guy showed up at the FBI office and somewhere in the Midwest and started shooting. I've said too much.
What tells you that?
Well, you're just being kind of quiet. This is, so what's going to happen here is the GOP right now is creating very, very heartbreaking sort of betrayal. They're dishing out heartbreak and betrayal and disrespect and indecency to the American people. It's very, very tragic what they have the potential to turn around and do, with the simple fact that this happens. It happened. Biden, it was an oversight. He followed the protocol. The documents got returned. All was well, but they're going to turn it into something. Now, when I think about the GOP right now, and I think about how Putin has told the Russian people that the Ukrainians are Nazis to justify this genocide of the Ukrainian people, and that the Russians, I almost said the Republicans, they're interchangeable. The Russian people, that since that's the only news that they get, many people in Russia think that must be justified because they heard it from the only news source that they have. So this is what the GOP has the potential to do. They are like pit bulls. They grab onto something. Like, think of Jim Jordan having that. Nothing against pit bulls, but just an animal that just grabs on a shark, grabs onto something and won't let go.
Like a pit bull.
Like a pit bull. Yeah, but pit bulls, they don't want to, say anything. What if all my viewers they all have pit bulls? You never know. But they do have that, they have that jaw that will lock and it won't let go, right? They're vicious. These Republicans are vicious, and they're going to take this story and they're going to blow it up into something that isn't true. And they're going to justify Trump taking all those top secret documents. That's what's going to happen. The Ace of Coins is they won't be able to take it as far as they won't take it so far that they can really do anything with it. But it's just going to be nauseating, gut-wrenching, terrible. Like, for instance, when you hear that they're going to put Joe Biden's wife, on trial or hearing, and it's like, it's heartbreaking. What does she do? This is what happens in fascist regimes. That's all I'm going to say about that. This is what happens in fascist regimes. Okay, next question. Did anyone have a further question about that?
Well, Anna Macedo asked, were they classified?
She's so brave. Let's hear it for Anna Lee.
No, that was Anna Macedo.
Oh, I thought Anna Lee, oh, that's a different person?
This, yeah. Annalie Finch is our wrencher. Anna Macedo was always with us.
I think they were classified. That's why they made a deal out of it, right? I didn't read the whole story, but I just figured if they made a story out of it, then it must have been that they were classified.
That's my guess.
There are different levels of classification. We know that, right?
Oh, yes.
And Trump took the highest top secret, like, you know, the military person who goes around to take the documents from wherever they're kept to the president, you know, the intelligence of their like lock and chain to their wrist with like a bracelet, and then they take them to the president. There is a procedure. Those are the things that Trump took. I mean, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been a story if they weren't classified, right? Am I missing something?
I don't know if they would necessarily have to be in order for that to become a story.
That's
you know what
true.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You're right.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks. We had a whole batch of people asking about that. Carol, Anna, thankful mom was in on that topic as well.
Well, that, you know, I rest my case. It turned into a big drama, right? Because the news is doing that. And okay. Mainstream news, I'm grateful that we have it to counter the propaganda. The mainstream news should not be doing this with this story. If they care about democracy, if they put it up as breaking news, they turn it into a big drama. They make it bigger than it actually is. They get people all up in arms and freaked out, and they don't need to be doing that. I'm telling you, I'm sure. Let me ask the pendulum. How many presidents has this happened to, where they mistakenly had in their possession top secret documents, and then just were alerted to it, and then we're like, oh, okay, here they are. Didn't realize they were here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 10 presidents this has happened to. I don't think that includes Trump. I know I'm sounding extremely biased, but this is just the actual truth. Are you staring at me or are you staring at the screen? Because you're never really looking at me, so I'm like, what's going on?
I'm trying to make it a profound moment on the show.
Nice try, Corey. Nice try, Corey. Maybe put a poll up.
All right, are we ready for the next question?
Did you really buy it that Trump that Corey was having a profound moment, not Trump? Trump on the brain now. Thank you.
Annette, a big news story today was the grounding of the airlines.
I know, I woke up to that.
Any insight into that? What the hell happened there?
I think they didn't tell us what really happened. I think that there was a hiccup. And I think that I'll pull some cards about it. I think it was a hiccup. I think the hiccup happened because things are a little bit shaky on the cyber front. I mean, it was a hiccup. It wasn't like, you know, major. Of course, you know, I'm glad they grounded the planes, right? You don't want to fly if you're going to crash.
Normally not. It
boggles my brain how angry people get. I mean, would you rather be in the plane and it crashes? Because it's we've come a long way from, wow, you can actually go in the sky, cross the ocean, right? We've come a long way from how amazing that is to like people just getting angry that they can't fly when it's dangerous.
Yeah. Domestic flights here are essentially automatic and have been for a long time.
Right. And so there was a glitch. There was a weakness. This is the thing. There was a vulnerability and something happened due to that vulnerability. So whether it was a vulnerability that was created, because we know we have enemy countries that are experts in cyber war, right? Was our system weakened by a foreign entity? It's saying no. So that's good. Was the problem with the, what was the problem? Well, I'm trying to think of a question because
Sandra Spital, supposedly a program that alerts pilots to runway issues, equipment, yada, yada, yada. It's fixed now. Said it was a computer program crash.
Yeah, I get it was a computer program crash.
Hmm.
Yeah, it definitely was a computer program crash. So the system is weakened.
I would imagine that security and infrastructure needs to be upgraded.
That was my immediate thought. And so where I was getting that they didn't want to leak too much information was if they leaked the information that we haven't kept up with, like the airports and the air and safety, we haven't kept up with safety regulations to the degree that we really need to. For God's sake, there's a bridge in Kentucky, I forget the name of it, that due to the infrastructure bill, we talked about it last week. And it was one of the infrastructure bill. I forget what they called it now. They passed a lot last year that it was about to fall in. It could have fallen in. It could have the bridge could have fallen down. So this is another one of those instances where the system was vulnerable because it hasn't been enough money hasn't been sunk into our infrastructure to make sure that these things don't happen. Because of the safety administrations in the United States, what is it? The federal, the FAA?
FAA.
If they were fully funded and, up to snuff, up to date, current, that would not, yeah, that's the problem right there. The system is weakened because we're not keeping up with it because all the corporations are stealing all our money, including Trump. How many taxes did he not pay? For instance. Anyway, so what's happening with so much news going on is one story could bleed right into another story. So that's enough about the airlines. And plus Mercury's retrograde.
Yeah, many people are pointing that out. Okay, thanks, Linda Wright. She had that question via email, actually, which was nice. Very cool. Okay. How about this one, Annette? This comes from Sharp Lisa. She's always with us. Hi, Lisa.
He's a big helper.
Annette, Weisselberg got 5 months jail time. That's it? What's up with that? Why so short?
He might not make it. I mean, you could go to a federal or prison that's like a country club. Not really. I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that as a way of making a comparison.
Yeah.
No prison is a country club, but just, by comparison. Rikers is like going to a torture chamber. He might not make it. I mean, I just wonder if people are aware. I mean, I'm just picking up on it energetically. He's 78 years old? Big criminals, big, bad prisoners, big, bad, dangerous. It's not good. I mean, I don't know anything about Rikers Island, but reading the energy, it's like, I don't know if Weisselberg would be on some kind of a watch, when somebody's about to go to prison, they have to kind of keep an eye on them so they don't knock themselves off. He can't leave the country. That wouldn't be, he'd be stopped. But I think that I think that he's probably wanting to leave this earthly existence rather than go through that. So I think whoever's asking that question doesn't realize where he's going. The thing that infuriates me, I don't have any sympathy for Weisselberg, but I don't want anybody to suffer either. I mean, he should have known better. the thing that really burns me is, why is he going to Rikers Island prison where he's going to get beat up mercilessly and continuously and have no protection? And Trump's still golfing. That's the real question. He throws everybody under the bus. He figures out a way to not have anything come back directly to him. He would throw his children under the bus. He threw everyone under the bus. And then, Michael Cohen went to prison. He was out because of COVID, on a house arrest. And then he went out to dinner and he got arrested because he was going to write a book. What happened to the First Amendment? Michael Cohen went to prison for Trump. So Trump has people going to prison for him, in place of him. He's rigged it up so that they all go to prison, but he gets to play golf and call everybody like, oh, they're doing this to me. Oh, they're doing that to me. No president has ever been treated as poorly as it's really unbelievable. I love the way you're so calm and I'm like all fired up.
You do your thing, kid. You're the conduit.
Corey's just eating his peeps.
I got a box of them right here too.
How many peeps have you had?
I had one. I just had one in my hot chocolate before we went on air.
You only had one peep? Usually I have two peeps. When I have a package of peeps, I usually
I got 5 dancing gingerbread men right here, ready to go. We'll do that for our first peep break at some point. We don't take pee breaks, folks. We take peep breaks.
We take peep breaks, and it sounds like we're taking a pee break, and then we stay here and we're just eating peeps.
Yeah, they were just eating marshmallows. Like, what the hell are these two doing?
You were taking a pee break.
Sharp Lisa, thanks for the question. Moving on. Here's a different topic.
And thanks for all your help, Lisa Sharp. She's so helpful.
She's awesome, huh? Annette, Mary Felix asks, Corey, I suffer from tinnitus. It's been more than 10 years. Will there ever be a cure?
There are some natural remedy cures. My ear was ringing earlier. I thought maybe someone was talking about me.
It was all of us. I went on an hour early just.
No, really. I thought, because it does kind of mean that, but I think I was meditating and I was like, take note of when your ears started ringing. Was there a thought that came in at that time? I have to think back. Get Louise Hay's book, You Can Heal Your Life, and start doing the affirmation for tinnitus. I don't diagnose, obviously. So why do I have these 4 cards in front of me? I don't know. I guess I was pulling cards for something and then I didn't read them.
What happens?
I feel like the thing about tinnitus is I feel like that there's not going to be like one cure, but when you get the right sort of configuration of different things and you sort of work with all of them, like for instance, like, I don't see a pill being developed for it or anything like that, but if we get combinations of things like, for instance, like chiropractic adjustments and acupuncture treatments and therapy. You know what I mean? I'm just sort of throwing that out there. I think it's something that the body has to address on its own. To me, it's showing up as like a misfiring. To me, just my psychic impression of tinnitus is it feels like a misfiring of the nerves, the neurons. And that's what it feels like. I'm not diagnosing, I'm just saying it has this feeling about it, like something's off with the way that things are firing, because it shouldn't be that high pitch tone. And tinnitus is a sign of damage to the ear, to the nerves. So oftentimes it's that you went to too many rock concerts and that. So I'm not saying a pill or anything.
Okay.
But I kind of feel like chiropractic adjustments is probably one of the most effective ways. I mean, everyone's different. I think just psychically, I'm picking up that a lot of people get relief from chiropractic adjustments. Makes sense?
Makes sense.
Is my hair weird? I feel like my hair's like
Everything about this is weird tonight. Annette, ring the bell, please.
blame it on Mercury. Which one?
The tip jar. Rattle the
Okay.
tip jar.
This is a tip jar bell.
Yeah.
This used
That's
to be the
Rhonda
ear bell.
Rue. Rhonda Rue, a
Thank
longtime
you.
viewer, has made a donation.
Thank you, Rhonda Rue. Right.
Thank you, Rhonda. She says, love you guys.
We love
And we
you.
love you back.
We love
Now,
you more.
Wouldn't you know this? Literally, I wish I could show you the document. The next question is from Rhonda Rue, who asked, Annette, will there ever be a vaccine coming out to help with the opioid problem? I heard something about this. So a vaccine for the opioid problem.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do any sort of antidote or anything for that.
You mean to take away if you have a problem with alcohol, there's some kind of something you can take so that if you have a sip of alcohol, you feel so violently ill that you just can't like.
I mean, it could be something like that. I always feel weirded out when like the solution to putting toxic things in your body is putting something else in your body. You know,
I'm not for it at all, not even a tiny bit. So I've never heard of a vaccine to help ward off the symptoms of being addicted to something.
Mm-hmm.
But I have heard of, and the people in the chat, I'm sure somebody knows what the name of the drug is, that if you have a very terrible problem with alcohol and you just can't stop drinking, if you're an alcoholic, there is some kind of a drug that they can prescribe for you to kick the habit. Because when you take a sip of the alcohol, you feel just violently ill and you can't. But that's not a vaccine. So I'm not really sure what she was, where she got the idea. Did she say?
No, she just had heard something about it.
Gosh, we need a place to go for just actual, just the facts, ma'am.
I know does that exist
You know what
anymore?
I mean? We need just the facts. We need a place to go for factual information.
We're hearing abuse. Is that how you?
I don't know what it's called. I just know I heard from somebody who was having trouble that worked for her.
Now, Rhonda Rue saying, I read they were coming out with something for hardcore addicts. So I don't know.
The solution to the opioid problem is to shut down the pharmaceutical companies. Don't even get me started about that. Because I will just go fly off the handle.
Yeah, the Sacklers, that.
Yeah, people die because of the pharmaceutical companies.
Literally. I mean,
they die from drugs.
You hang them on the steps of the Capitol.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Speaking of people being punished, I'm not referring to the pharmaceutical companies, but the guides gave it to me this week. And I know we're going to get to McCarthy, which is the main topic of conversation last week, all week.
Next question. I had one in there, but yeah.
Was that the next question?
Yeah, this is bizarre because the Rhonda Rue thing was a real thing that happened, and then McCarthy was right here too.
Yeah, that's the psychic part of the show.
Yeah, it's a weird thing that.
So maybe we can try this. You know, I can just tell you what the next question is.
Seriously.
Because I kind of do.
And these batch of questions are sort of all over the place. It wasn't like one stream of going on. They came from all sorts of directions. So
it's a living. What I got about Kevin McCarthy, because I read past lives, is I just got this flash. In a past life, he was a king that was beheaded. And I don't know. I mean, we can look into it a little bit more. If anybody wants me to look into that a little bit more, but the guides gave it straight to me. In a past life, Kevin McCarthy had a past lifetime as a king, and he was beheaded. And I think his obsession, I mean, I've never really seen anything like it unless you count Trump. And I forget who I was listening to, an astrologer on YouTube, who was saying that their charts have very similar aspects, Trump and Kevin McCarthy. Oh, and they have that in common because I have a right to, I'm entitled to my own psychic impression. Trump was Mussolini in his past lifetime. And we know what happened to Mussolini. So I'm picking up that Kevin McCarthy was a king in a past lifetime, and he was beheaded by the people, he was punished, and that's might have been by the enemy, but I feel like it was, similar to Mussolini, where the people had enough. So their quest for, their insatiable need for power is like, it really does come from them. Their soul's still trying to resolve that, not being able to be in power anymore. And what's the question that you have?
McCarthy demoted Schiff, Omar, and Swalwell. What does Annette see in the future for them?
Schiff is really beside himself. I think Adam Schiff has a lot of insight into what's really going on here. He poured his entire heart and soul into his job, he's a true public servant, and Trump would get up there and do, pencil neck, and he call him Shifty Schiff and all that. And it's just like, how much of this can we take? I didn't read the news in terms of like, are they able to even be on any committees anymore? Or which committees were they on that they got taken off of? I really need to read up on that because it just happened and I haven't caught up with it yet. So Schiff, Omar, and who else?
Swalwell.
Does it say what committee assignments they had?
No, doesn't. And this is from Lucretia Valdez, by the way. Hi, Lucretia.
I want everybody to take a deep breath and know that, like my arm says, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. We're going to get through this. But I've told everyone, and I think it was here too, we have to be really strong. We have to find our own inner Ukrainians who just fight back and fight back and fight back. We have to understand that there are forces at work that will help us through this. We have to pay attention. January, February, March, we're going to be in a type of a living hell. I'm not saying that to scare people. That's a reality check. We lived through the easy years in the United States. That has happened. That we were really lucky. We lived through a time that up until like 2000, right? Everything was just peaches and cream. We're not in that since the 2020 hit. Well, 2016, actually, 2015, 2016. Wait, let me go back even further. Since 2010, since the Tea Party, right? Where they bastardized that whole idea of a Tea Party. Us being in the Boston area where we, that was something to be proud of. That the English were taxing the tea to death. It was, just to soak it, to soak the Americans people from England that came to America. So it's been going on a very long time. And what we're seeing is it's peaking out. We're going to see it peaking January, February, March. And then I see us turning the corner. So Adam Schiff is devastated, not for himself. And this is true for a lot of public servants that are being demoted. It's like, can you imagine devoting your entire life to public service? And then these ogres getting in there. What do they call them in the Lord of the Rings?
Someone will tell us.
The orcs?
I don't know.
The orcs, right? The evil, the bad guys, right? That are very violent and very brutal. And, and the nice and the kind and the genuinely caring and compassionate and public servants have dedicated their entire lives to doing the right thing. And then they're like demoted by an orc. What are they saying in the chat?
The chat's flying tonight. We're 500 plus right now. We're in there going nuts. We're watching.
What are you doing, Corey?
We need a long ring of the bell, Annette.
A long ring of the bell? What's it
Yeah.
like how many seconds would this long ring of the bell be?
Give it a few seconds. We gotta
They
work on our
went.
bells. We've got to work on our bells. So anyway, yeah, there you go. That was a nice one.
Right.
Honey Holic has tipped us tonight, which is great. Thank you, Honey Holic.
Thank you.
And then also Lina has tipped us tonight, and she says, love you both and this community. And here's the special part. Honey Holic and Lina tipped us in Canadian dollars. Those are the best dollars you can have.
You know what? I'm gonna get my passport. I'm gonna get a new passport. I'm gonna get it updated because I'm gonna go to Canada.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it up there.
I've decided. I'm going to Quebec. Want to come? We'll do a show up there.
We're gonna do Quebec City, really?
I don't know who's in Quebec in the chat.
I haven't been to Quebec in 30 years.
Tell them to give us a wave if they're in the chat, and that's where they live. They live in that
We have
area.
We have a couple friends in Montreal, I think, or Quebec City, right? Tony Stokes, I think, is up there. Maybe someone else. Is too.
Okay, we'll set it up. Maybe 24.
That attorney that we know.
Who? Tony?
Remember, we keep getting letters.
Stokes?
I don't think it's Tony. It's someone else.
All right.
Yeah, we can talk about it off air. But yeah, I remember someone else too. But anyway.
Yeah. So
we
anyway,
love our neighbors to the north. We really do. We have a lot of them. It's great.
So yeah, and I can practice my French.
You need Canadians in your life. This goes for anyone in the world. You need Canadians in your life.
That's where my roots are. That's where my ancestors are from.
Yeah.
So I think I'd feel right at home there.
Yeah.
Schiff and Swalwell and Omar. Well, Swalwell is a lawyer, as is Adam Schiff. Omar, I'm not sure if she was a lawyer. She went to law school.
Oh no.
She's such a sweet and beautiful. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. She glows. She's brilliant. She's kind. These are amazing people. Swalwell, he's kind, he cares, they're all very, very brave. And this is what we're seeing happening in the United States, and we can't just stand by and let it happen. We have to stand up for these people. We have to write to them and send support and send lots and lots of, positive energy, just lots of light. We do that every Tuesday. We visualize a healed America every single Tuesday. Come to that. I'm going to pull 3 cards about what's going to happen with them. But we have to start standing up for the people that are standing up for us, which is a similar theme with Ukraine. We have to stand up for the people that are standing up for us because, Putin's going after them because we're across the ocean. It's the only reason. We talked about that.
Well, and while you're drawing cards, Linda Gordon says Schiff represents Burbank and Glendale. He is supported. I have lived in both Burbank and Glendale for a while when I was out in California.
Yeah, so here's the thing. And, not to mention, it's funny because I was thinking about it and then somebody on the news said it. Look at what happens. Look at what's happening to California right now. Has Kevin McCarthy said anything about, I want to help my fellow Californians? Like, has he said anything to remotely suggest that he has a clue what's happening in California right now? Kevin McCarthy, the dork? Oh my gosh, I need a peep.
It could be time for a pee break, folks.
At least when we got together, we had food, when the news was really bad, we could just snack.
Boy. He's throwing haymakers tonight.
Yeah, we just please everybody throw your support behind these people. How difficult that must be to have given it your all and given it your very best and done the work for the people. And let's see. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm talking about. It's very, 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 very sad. It's a 5 of Swords. It's a very sad card. Very, very sad card. The 8 of Cups. And then the 8 of Wands comes in and says, this is what's going to put the passion in the American people's hearts to stand up and to fight back, metaphorically speaking. This is the thing. Like I'm saying, we have to support these people. We can't just go, we cannot just sit around and go, Oh, that's terrible. This is not the time for that. It hasn't been the time for that for many years now, several years. So that's, the bird flying with the fire. That's an important message about this is going to ignite the passion in us to do something. And I'm not, don't get me wrong. It's not that people aren't doing anything, because a lot of people, like I have the Grassroots of Democracy group, we are working hard. So we are activating, we're doing what needs to be done. We're joining forces with other organizations that are working to save democracy. And that is what's going to do it. And by the way, so Kevin McCarthy didn't say anything about what's going on in California. What a jerk. People are dying. They don't care. The cruelty is a point, and they have no sense of empathy at all. I said this before on the show, but it was a while ago. What's going to happen in America is we're going to have so much widespread climate change disaster that people will have they won't have a thought about, oh, well, I'm mad at the Democrats. Oh, they're Marxists. Oh, they're not going to have time for that. All they're going to have time for is, I need help. Please save us, right? And it's only the Democratic Party that has expressed any interest whatsoever in helping our fellow Americans. The Republicans have nothing on their platform whatsoever that has anything to do with helping anybody. Not even one item. Not even one item. We're doing this to help the American people. I challenge anyone to give me one item that the Republicans have on their docket. We're going to do this for the American people. There's not one. Are we going to stand for that? And they're doing all this that they're doing at our expense, on our taxpayer dollars. This investigation into the investigators that they think they're getting ready to do, and I'm sure that might be your next question. That's going to cost more money than the January 6th committee used. That's going to cost more money to staff, and that's all our money. You're not mad, you're not paying attention.
I'm
Okay.
paying attention. I have to, there's a lot.
That's a saying.
Oh.
What, do you got, a guilty conscience?
No, it's just I lose track of things here and there.
All right, I know you're letting me rant, so.
Well, that's what we're
Better
doing.
stop.
Okay, so Lucretia, thanks for that question. That was a big one. And thanks again, Honey Holic and Lina, for the tip jar. We do have this statement from Linda Johnson. I had a reading with Annette last week, and she was so spot on. Can you thank her? A reading with her is really life-changing.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
How was that?
Yeah, I know who it is. They're in the chat, and thanks for being here.
Sure.
There's a lot of information. When you get a reading from me, it's just like it's about 50 minutes of just totally all about you, channeling you guys, your past lives, your purpose, your family, all of it. It's all there.
There you go. That was like one giant peep just being crammed right down your throat, Annette.
What was?
That compliment.
Yeah, that was better than a peep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Very nice. Yeah, so if you need a book, a reading with Annette, psychicannetteDion.com. There is that. So
I'm not busy right now, but I will be.
Our next question, Annette, comes from Glenn Bird. Glenn is always with us. How you doing? Bird is the word, and he asks, will Congress come up with a comprehensive immigration policy that addresses the concerns of the U.S. citizens, especially those along the border and the asylum seekers looking for better lives this year? So basically, will Congress come up with a more comprehensive immigration policy?
No.
Thanks for the question, Glenn. We'll see you next week.
Because the Republicans won't let anything get done. The reason that we have this, the main reason that we can't solve this crisis at the border is because the Republicans won't let us solve the crisis at the border. We have to be exploring solutions that are viable. Like Joe Biden went down there and, what do they call it? The Three Amigos meeting. He went down there and he was like, okay, what can we do? Right? There's such a thing as being in solution mind. And I read on this last night, or when did I do Monday night? I went live on Monday night. I don't usually do that. I felt like on Monday, I usually just go live on Friday. But, and there were a lot of people in the chat. There were like 500 in the chat. But I just, anyway, I don't want to say anymore. Next question.
There's a way to see if you did. Okay. Thanks for that question, Glenn. Next comes from, but let's do this one from Eileen. Katie Porter just announced she is launching a bid for a Feinstein Senate seat in 2024. Will she be successful?
She'll win. Do you know Dianne Feinstein is 89?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry. There comes a point that, don't you want to go enjoy your life? But she did lose her husband, but still. It just seems like she'd want to, just go relax somewhere. Or maybe she is relaxing in her seat. Maybe that's relaxing for her. Maybe she doesn't have anything else to do. But yeah, Katie Porter will win. I mean, now, let me say something about that. Because I think I have to be clear about this. When I'm reading who will win, I'm reading the energy of the people that want them to win. I have figured that out.
Sorry, there's actually a serious story I'm dealing with here. I can tell you off camera.
A serious news story?
Yeah, but it's local.
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Is everybody okay?
No.
Oh, damn! Now you're gonna make me wait.
And I mean, I can try to tell you privately somehow. Can
you put it in the chat?
No.
Because it will show up.
Yeah.
Is anybody I know? I hope not.
Yes, it is. I think you know this person.
Somebody died.
No, someone's in trouble though. And I'm supposed to be doing an event with this person next week.
Oh.
We'll chat about it.
Yeah, you can send me a text so I can send light. Send me a text and I'll just send prayers. It works. That's how Damar Hamlin got better.
All right, just pardon me for 1 second, folks. We just got some local breaking news here.
Local situation.
Do you want a question in the meantime, Annette?
Well, when I get your message, I'm going to just ask people to send light to the situation.
There you go.
And wow, he's out of town.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that just happen?
I think within the last day or so. I found out this afternoon, and then I think it just got posted publicly.
So just in general terms, it's somebody that we know who's a local person that a lot of people know that is not well and in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then his initials are SM. People will pray. I wonder what happened. Do you know what happened? You don't have to tell me.
I heard like 2 or 3 different things, and it seems like it's all very, very cloudy.
Yeah. Okay. All right, let's lift up the energy.
All right, our next question comes from, let's see, we have to have this one. We get this one every week. Oh wait, how about this is a cool one. This is from Lulu, who sent you a gift that you need to open later on tonight.
You mean Lulu, you have it? You have it?
I have it, yeah. I have that for you. Corey, we know you and Annette go way back, but has she ever told you her story on how she became a psychic, professionally, I suppose? And can Annette tell us how she discovered her gift, and was her family understanding and accepting?
Yeah, my family never cared what I did.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting wrinkle though, because we've answered those previous questions before, but I guess
Yeah.
I guess once you find out someone in your family is gifted in this way, which is different, how does the family respond to that?
Well, when you have a family that doesn't pay much attention to you, I say that with love.
Hmm.
When you grew up in a big family, you know, where like I wasn't like I didn't my parents were not helicopter parents. They didn't ever tell me what to do. My mom always was like, do whatever you want. So there was not any judgment. But anyway, I've told this story before. I'll give you the quick version. I always, when I was growing up, I always felt like I just knew things, and I just knew things, just, you know, just assuming that everybody else knew everything too. And then I realized one day the other people aren't getting all this information that I seem to be receiving about situations and things. And then when I was about 18, I was just, you know, getting into like the idea of angels and spirit guides, and just feeling really strongly that that was something that was real, just like a belief in God. You know, it was just a feeling that that's real. So I did kind of, when I was, you know, walking the beach by myself or something, I definitely felt like I had like a sense of, you know, a knowing being around me, or beings. And so one day I was like, what's going on with this? I just feel like I know so many things that I shouldn't know. And they said, well, you have a psychic gift and you can use it to help people or not. It doesn't matter. And I just remember that experience, and I just thought what a much more interesting life it would be if I was living in both worlds. And I think it is interesting to me. I just thought it'd be more interesting to other people. That would be like, well, that would be weird. I wouldn't want to do that. I wasn't brought up a staunch Christian. When guitar masses started to happen, my parents, they grew up going to Catholic church. They continued to go to Catholic church until, what was it, when they stopped doing the masses in Latin and pulled out the guitars, the folk guitars, and they stopped going to church. So I was not ever pressured. My mom sent us to Catholic school until she just couldn't even deal with the shenanigans of, you know, it's just like, my mom can see through hypocrisy. Like, this is before all the pedophilia and everything. She's always been like that. She can just see hypocrisy, and she always was right. So I got it from her. But if we'd say, oh, Mom, you seem to be psychic, she would just kind of brush it off like, no, she wasn't. Did that answer the question?
I think so. Yeah. I thought it was a nice
And then when I moved to Nashville, after I'd been reading cards with a friend here and found out we were really good at it, when I moved to Nashville, I needed a source of income. So I jumped on an opportunity on 2nd Avenue in Nashville to read cards at a witch store in the Bible Belt.
Mm.
Yeah, not many people do that. I went to the Bible Belt and I worked at a witch store. Yes, that's me.
Hornet's nest.
I'm not really the mainstream.
Lulu says thanks for the answer.
Oh, thank you for the question.
There's that.
You know, the psychics, like, that's the most common question they get asked.
When do they know, or how do they find out? Or
yeah, how did you know when did you first know you were psychic? Yeah. Like those exact words, verbatim. How did you know you were psychic?
Yeah, and it's different.
And you know, people ask that because they want to know if they're psychic, and they are psychic. Everybody's psychic. Just have to practice.
Annette, did you know we were going to get another question, as we do every week, about DeJoy?
No, I actually wasn't thinking about DeJoy. Thanks for bringing him up.
Sid Roy, can you please look into the status of DeJoy?
It cost me $11 to mail a T-shirt yesterday.
I know. I've been looking at doing the merch thing too. I'm like, I can't charge someone $25 for a mug.
That's DeJoy. That's DeJoy. And I've been saying for some time now, he'd be ousted in April. There's a lot that's going to happen in April. It's like, I'm feeling a little bit of drain in the swamp energy coming up in April.
Whoa.
And, you know, it's the irony of the Trump years is that everything Trump said was pointing a finger right at him when he kept saying, drain the swamp, drain the swamp. And he was the greatest swamp monster of all. And now all the people, anchors on the news are calling them swamp creatures. It's pretty funny, actually. You have to laugh sometimes. But DeJoy, I feel like he'll be gone in April. See, here's the thing. Unless more corruption happens, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let me ask that, because I feel like DeJoy is getting money's being siphoned in. I feel like it's being funneled into him to keep up these shenanigans. Is that a Joe Biden word? It seems like it would be.
Like shenanigans, yeah.
Malarkey.
Malarkey. Horse feathers.
Yeah.
Something they would have said in the 1850s.
I know. One time a while back, I heard Biden say, like, as the crow flies. Yeah. I was like, what does that even mean anymore? All right. Is DeJoy is money being funneled to Louis DeJoy? Not right now. I think it was. Was money being funneled to Louis DeJoy? Yes. I think he was getting, yeah, I think he was able to do all the corruption because money was being thrown at him. Was the source of that money Donald Trump? Yeah, it was, but it feels like it was like indirectly, but really strong. It was the money that was being funneled to him was connected to Trump. Really strong yes on that. So will we be able to get him ousted by April? Okay, let's go through the months. DeJoy ousted by this month, February, March, April. Oh, it's still, it's saying April. That's what I'm getting. I mean, you know, I moved post offices because of him raising the rate, but you know, I don't know how to get around it. I want to support the post office, and I will continue to support the post office, but he is soaking people.
Yeah, not pretty. Folks, it is the top of the hour here. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're watching another episode of The Sidekick and the Sidekick. She is the psychic Annette Dion. You can book a reading with her at psychicannetteDion.com. I am Corey from Bridge Cape Ann, and we do this show for you every Wednesday night, 6:30 Eastern Time. So thanks for hopping in. If you're new, thanks for the thumbs up, sub if you'd like, and please participate in the live chat. We have a great group of moderators and a great community in there, lifting one another up, which is very cool. And is it time? I'm going to have a peep, Annette, while we're here.
I don't know if I have any. I have pistachios. Let me see.
Headless gingerbread, ma'am.
I didn't bring any snacks, except I do have pistachios.
Nice. Are they shelled or?
Yeah, it would be too much work.
That's a lot of work. I love pistachios. They're a lot of work to get to. So.
I made a delicious salad today, and I noticed when I eat really healthy that I always strive to eat really healthy. I always have, besides the peeps.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't get hungry that much if I eat properly. Food for thought, literally.
It is.
Like if you eat really, really healthy and you make sure that you're getting all your nutrients, you're not as hungry. I was gonna say something about, was it DeJoy?
Yeah.
What's your next question?
What's the next one you were asking?
Yeah.
Well, let's ring the bell first, Annette.
I think you should answer the next question.
Well, all right, because Brenda has tipped the channel. Now, Brenda is also the one who sent the stickers.
Which stickers do you speak of there, Mr. Corey? Oh, the guy.
Assault rifles.
I thought you were saying you got other stickers. Like, I think stickers, because I was a piano teacher, that stickers are like, you stick them on the music. Those stickers.
All right. And so Brenda says, hey guys, forgot to say in my letter, you're awesome. And thanks for what you do. And thank you so much for sharing my stickers. So there you go. So if you like a sticker, just email Brenda at brendapaint@gmail.com. There's that. Thanks, Brenda.
Yeah, and maybe get a marker and write the address, the email website address for a gun control organization. Like, what's the one, the Parkland March for Our Lives is one. There's one of Mothers.
There's that. Sandy Hook has their own.
MomsdemandAction.org, I think that's great. Is it like something that you can write that on easily? Is it glossy or?
I don't know. I have no idea.
No, you have a sticker right there. Is it
Well, I
glossy?
have just a sticker. The sticker is just a literal sticker. It's not. I got a
But can
bunch of
you
these.
write on it?
I don't know if you can trust the sharp because it's glossy.
Oh yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
You could probably get a sticker made that has at least the name of one gun control organization. Just an idea.
All right, folks, we always get batches of questions. We get the batches of political stuff. Sometimes we get batches of alien stuff. But more and more each week, we get batches of stuff about the royal family. So let's buckle down.
I know I couldn't avoid that. I knew there was no way around that one.
Yeah.
I have not followed. I don't live in England. I have not been following the royal family. I'm not really sure what this obsession is.
People love the royals. You talk about drama.
Maybe that's what it is.
Well, and Prince Harry just had that big exclusive interview with 60 Minutes, and then he's done like 9 million interviews since then. So,
well, he's all set up. He needs to have money now because he's away from the royal family.
Yeah, poor guy. I hope he makes it.
He'll be fine. He must have a book.
Of course, he has a book.
What's the name of the book?
He has a Netflix series. He has a book. It's called Spare.
That's right. I knew he had a book, but I just voluntarily just forgot about it.
Well, how about this? Giselle, we love Giselle, asked, Annette, what does Diana think of Harry's new book, Spare?
I feel like she wants him to live his truth. And that as long as he's living his truth, actually, I have a sense that she thinks that's way better than having stuck with the theatrics. It's the way I'm hearing it. It's way better that he's being true to himself. Honestly, it is way better. I agree with her. I have a sense that that's what her energy is like. And I agree with her because I cannot tell you, working with so many people all these years, how damaging it is for people to hold in their anger and their rage. When I go on my rants, at least I'm getting it out of my system. And nobody's perfect. Like, we don't really feel comfortable with. That might be the obsession, because he gave up this life of privilege because it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth selling out himself, and like selling out in the sense that he had to remain part of the royal family for all the trappings of, royalty. I mean, what he did was a very radical thing. And so he is, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? He is his mother's son. And I feel as though she would be cheering him on, because the most important thing is to be authentic. And he has a platform, so why not use it, right? If I had a platform, I'd be using it.
You're using it right now.
I know, I'm just saying.
By the way, if you hear weird background noises.
I'm using it right now, right?
Yeah. Bubba is snoring like crazy behind me. If you hear some weird gurgles, that's
well, we must be boring.
Oh no.
For dogs, but you know what I mean? It's like that's why we're using this platform. If you had the platform that Prince Harry has, and you could take a stand for living authentically, I would hope that you would do that. Unless you're hiding something. Corey, what are you hiding?
Plenty. That's why I have a fake
You need
background.
a reading?
All right, let's move on. We have more from the royals. Will Prince Harry make amends with the family?
What? You can answer the question.
That
Corey's turn.
I think it's precarious at best. He's never going to be tight with Charles, Camilla, or William. And I don't really know the story, but I know that much.
I don't think he'll make amends with the family. I think he will be estranged from the family. But back around the time of the Queen's Jubilee, I felt like he really missed. I felt like he genuinely missed his family. It doesn't matter like who you are. If you don't feel connected to your family, for whatever reason, they might be heinous people, but if you don't have your kindred spirit, your next of kin, if you don't have them around and know that they're in close proximity and they're just because they're your blood, that's very unsettling. But I think too much damage has been done. And I think really, I guess the reason too that I'm picking up on Diana being like, you do you be authentic, is the racism. You can't imagine Diana being racist. You just can't imagine it. I can't. So did I answer? Is that sufficient, or is there
We
more?
got a whole batch. We got a whole batch we're sifting through.
Yeah, I don't see them making amends. I don't even think when Charles, I wouldn't even be surprised when Charles passes someday if it's just like he just doesn't go. That would be awful, but it wouldn't. I'd be shocked, but not surprised. You know what I mean? I'd be shocked, but I wouldn't feel like, oh, I just can't understand it like that.
Yeah. Lena had also.
What you got? I think that you should answer a question.
Well, Lena had also asked, will King Charles step down to make room for William in 2023? We get this question every now and then.
We always get the question, will Prince Charles, well, I still call him Prince. Will he step down?
King Charles, right? No kidding. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see him. I don't understand like why he would.
Right. I feel the same way.
That's all he's known.
Play out.
You know what I mean? That's all he's known. Since he was in the womb, that's all Charles has known. Is I'm in the royal family. I mean, it's hard for people to maybe conceptualize that, but I don't see any reason for him to step down unless it's some kind of illicit thing, and I don't see that. He's not Andrew.
Yeah. And Camilla wears the pants, it seems, right?
Yeah, she's in bad health.
Oh, yeah?
I heard that her health isn't good, but she has excellent, health care and stuff. So she'll be okay for now.
Yeah, they're gonna make it, I think.
They were making it before Diana.
That was a rough one. I remember where I was when I heard about that.
I was ironing in my room in Nashville.
I was at a big outdoor party in Lake Willoughby, Vermont, with a bunch of friends. And then we were off the grid, and then a friend drove up from Boston and said, "Hey, did you guys hear?" We're like, "We haven't heard anything."
I know, isn't that weird? Whenever I've been kind of off the grid, I think I told you the story of when I was in the Grand Canyon. And came out of the Grand Canyon. This is before internet and everything. And I was like, gee, I wonder if anything happened while we were in the Grand Canyon. And this guy we were hiking with said, well, a nuclear power plant blew up in Chernobyl.
Oh, yeah.
You should just go back down into the canyon. It does seem like that. It seems like when you're not looking, something big happens.
All right. How about this question from Tangerine Cottage? Tangerine is with us tonight.
That's new. Is that a new name? I don't remember that.
Relatively, I think, but in and out, but more frequent lately. Annette, will detailed information ever come out from Ghislaine Maxwell's list? We're back on Ghislaine and Epstein.
I'm gonna have to burn my sage again.
Oh my God, here we go. The Wonder Joint. We need to have a sound effect for this, I think.
Lame. Yeah, we're gonna do that, right? We're gonna have sound effects and ew, Jelaine Epstein vibrations.
Our former neighbor, Annette.
I feel like I know you keep saying that. I don't think she was here for that long.
I don't think so either, but she was here, which is weird enough.
We get that question all the time.
Mm.
Will she tell on people? I don't feel like she'll get anything from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see like how it would really, I know it doesn't, it seems like it would benefit her, but I don't see that it would. So read the question again. Like, what about her? Will she talk or?
Well, I think it's the list. There's always this list that Jelaine supposedly has of clients, right? Or, will that detailed list ever surface?
The list?
Mm-hmm. People, they talk about there's this list of clients.
Who's they? Who's this they we were speaking of?
These are the folks who make drama, Annette, but non-mainstream media. Well,
I mean, I think I'm not picking up like there's a book with names.
You know what they want. Yeah, people want names. They want names. They want accountability.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. And I've never seen it. I don't see that she gains anything from that. And actually I feel a little bit like she could gain a little something by not doing that. That's what I actually pick up. It might be, she's in a really bad standing right now. It would actually be slightly more beneficial to her situation to not.
I would think so too, right? The more names you cough up,
Yeah, that could be it too. But I feel like there's a reason for her to just not, and there's not a reason for her to do it. There's a better reason for her to not do it. I don't know if it will decrease her sentence or decrease her sentence to out people. I don't feel like it would.
Right.
So let's just let her go.
Adios, Jelaine.
Yeah.
Au revoir, Jelaine.
She doesn't deserve our attention.
How about a really cool question, Annette?
Okay.
This one comes from Joanna Carson. Joanna's always been with us. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Corey. Since you live on the coast, my question is, are sightings of ghost ships like the Flying Dutchman true paranormal events or just seafaring folktales? So ghost ships in that. What's your feeling on that?
Yeah, where was the Flying Dutchman? Where did that happen?
I don't know. I have to look that
Yeah.
up.
I thought that was out in Europe. Maybe in like Amsterdam or
Holland.
Holland. I'm thinking, well, it's the Dutchman, right?
Oh yeah, Dutch East India Company. So
Was he part of the trade? Was he like a trade captain, a trade ship captain?
I believe so.
I vaguely remember that story from I don't know when. Are they real? What, the ghost ship stories?
Yeah, are they just seafaring tales or the actual paranormal events?
Well, they're both. There's a little bit of everything out there on the high seas. Sometimes I'm over like at night and I right on the back shore here, and I see things offshore at night. I don't know if they're ghost ships.
True.
Yeah, they're as real as ghosts are. Yeah, absolutely. People that were lost at sea. Did I ever tell you that when I was in high school, I don't know if we ever talked about this. There was a fishing boat, not a big boat. It was a fishing boat called the Alligator. Do you remember that? It was this boat. They went out fishing and there was only like 3 guys and they disappeared. They disappeared. It was before we could track things as much, like before cell phones and all that. But a cell phone would not have worked that far offshore anyway. But yeah, I remember, this guy, his name was Glenn, and he was a friend of my cousin's, and I knew him pretty well. And they went out and they just didn't come back. And they didn't find a trace of anything. Did they ever find any remnants of the Andrea Gale from the perfect storm? Did anything ever wash up?
I thought they had found like barrels on the water surface.
Yeah, that's right. They did. You're right. But yeah, this boat, it was called the Alligator, and it never, not a trace of anything. So I wonder if they were abducted. Just speaking of that kind of topic. I kind of felt like they were. It kind of creeps me out to think about it. But the ghost ships and all that, yeah, real.
Interesting, right?
Anyway, that's on the Fisherman's Memorial. That boat. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, there's so many phenomena we just don't know what the source is. The one thing we know for sure, there's more to this world than what meets the eye.
Oh yeah. And the ocean is very tricky. You have light, you have water.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of weird stuff going on out there.
There's a lot more ocean than land on the planet, and it's going to be more and more ocean.
Annette.
Yes.
Anna Hutchinson asks, during the cold spell, the Northeast power grid was having trouble. Is the government going to fix the problem?
The Northeast?
And the Northeast. We're back to the power grid.
During the cold spell, the Northeast was having which cold spell? Last over Christmas?
We haven't really had a bad cold spell here.
Over Christmas.
Yeah, that was cold for a couple of days.
Remember the deep freeze? I mean, for a couple of days.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad here.
I mean, I know it's bad when I pull out my big coat.
Yeah.
Do you have a big coat?
Yeah, I do. That's the shoveling during a storm coat.
Yeah, I have the big furry boots and the big coat. You know it's cold when you take out the big coat.
Yeah.
So what about the power grid in the Northeast?
Is the government going to fix the problems?
Repeat after me, everyone. Infrastructure bill. Yeah. And here's the thing about that. People will start to wake up more and more and more this year when they see how much the Biden administration has poured into our economy. How much this is going to turn things around. We do have to tax the billionaires. They can't be paying no taxes. Can we even conceptualize what it is to have billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, and to pay zero in taxes? So people that don't really use their brains very well are going, oh no, we can't afford this. We can't afford this. The reason we're in the crisis that we're in is because corporations pay zero taxes. And if you do the math and you figure out, well, I don't know, I'm not an accountant, but if you figure out how much they would have been paying in taxes all these years before Citizens United and all that, if you add up how much they would have been paying in taxes, like Jeff Bezos, right, for example, it will boggle your brain. Because all these massive, especially infrastructure problems that we have, and my guides are saying, and the airline thing that happened today, would be all, spick and span, tip top, shining, gleaming, just all up to date, all, progressive, green technology. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. So the reason that we're having problems, I mean, look at what's happened in Texas. When they had that deep freeze and Ted Cruz went flying to Cancun, and earned his nickname and left Snowflake in the window. Like, I'll never forget that picture. Poor Snowflake, the little curly-haired poodle dog. And you know, Greg Abbott, when the last time they had outages and the big storm that came through, because there's always a big storm coming through in Texas. Like 9 times out of 10, it seems when we're on, there's a big storm happening in Texas. And the latest one, Abbott's like sending out a text or something that says, "Oh, good thing, you know, we're doing good on the electricity front," and the people were losing power all over the place because of the greed and the stealing from the American people that's been going on for way too long. Way too long. Corporations need to be paying taxes. So I feel like, you know, in Massachusetts, we're kind of doing a lot better than a lot of other states. I do see things coming together. I see things in this region being addressed more readily, more, not sure why, but it just seems like, well, because there's more Democrats here, put it that way. Democratic areas, they get it together more quickly. What can we say? I mean, that's just factual. So I think it will. Where does she live?
I don't know. And if you're out there, let us know where you live. I don't know. Doesn't pinpoint it. Annette, ring the bell, please.
Okay. Ringing the bell. Is this the one you can hear?
Good, good.
Zoom's so weird with sound.
Yeah, Zoom's really weird with the chimes. Marby, you know Marby Gongora. She has tipped the channel once again. She does it every week. Thanks so much for the support, Marby. We appreciate it.
When you see our beautiful outfitted studio shows, you'll know where your money has gone.
That's true. Every dime's been saved so far to go towards that. So we really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's go to this one. How about this one from longtime viewer Jessica Frank, the candle lady.
Candle lady. I have the candle right in front of me.
We love Jessica. Corey Michael Bajent wrote the book The Jesus Papers. Was he correct that Jesus survived the crucifixion?
No, he didn't survive. He died and he came back and he got resurrected. And that was his whole mission, was to show us that death is not the end. The Jesus Papers?
Yeah. What's up with this?
I don't know. People, check your facts. Or check your psychic facts.
Michael Bajent.
That is weird. I'm going to light my candle from Jessica.
Go right ahead. It's a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think I have to trim the wick. This is well, this isn't the original one. I bought some more.
Oh, nice.
This is the one that smells like India. Hang on, I gotta trim the wick. Time for a candle. This is, you know, in the winter, you gotta burn a lot of candles. But be careful and don't leave them burning.
Advice from Annette.
Yeah, I know. I met somebody once that happened to her. The fire department came, the house burned down.
Really?
Yeah. In Nashville, not here.
Yikes.
She felt really terrible. It wasn't her house. But they smell nice.
Here's a question. Annette, will the mystery of the missing Malaysia flight 370 ever be solved?
I think that was an alien thing. When was that?
I'll look it up real quick.
Trying to think, like 20 years ago, or was it?
Yeah, 2014.
Because when you asked me that question, I thought about that documentary that I mentioned. Hang on, I think the candle made me want to sneeze. I mentioned the documentary that I saw many years ago when they were talking about the Bermuda Triangle. Remember, we talked about this before. And the fighter pilots that disappeared. There were like 5 planes that disappeared, or I think that was the story. And one of the pilots said, "Don't come after us," because they're, you know, air control or traffic control was very concerned because they they saw these objects around the planes and they didn't know what to do. They didn't know if they should go rescue them or whatever. And one of the pilots said, "Don't come after us. I think they're from outer space." Let me ask the pendulum.
Go right ahead.
You remember that story?
I do. Of course I do. Yeah.
Does anybody in the chat have any details on that story?
They found parts off South Africa.
Oh, the Malaysia.
Hmm.
Was there an alien spaceship involvement there? I'm getting yes, and I feel like there was some kind of interference. Did they get the black box?
That I don't know. If I can find that.
I'm getting something about a spaceship or some kind of like you know, I feel like they go in and out of this dimension. So they may have the presence of an alien spaceship could have interfered with the electronics. But I'm really feeling strongly that there was some alien interference there. You know, it gets busy up there in the skies.
Mhm.
Surprised there hasn't been a crash, like a crash between a spaceship and a plane. Makes you wonder.
Wonder. And here's a question from the live chat from Good Karma. And a few people have asked something like this. My pendulum barely swings. How does Annette get hers to swing so wildly?
That's just something that when you've been doing it for years, you kind of, it's so subtle. It's just so subtle. You really have to have your arm relaxed and your fingers relaxed. And it will just do that. I don't get it to swing. You just kind of watch what it does. I mean, your hand moves a tiny bit, but when it goes wild like that, that's not me. It's almost like a gust of wind comes in and swings it like that. Does that answer the question?
I mean, I think so. Yeah.
She said something about it staying still.
No, it just doesn't swing as wildly for her as it does for you. Some people say when they use it, the pendulums barely move, or they move very subtly for one type of answer and more abrupt for another type of answer.
Well, that's okay. It's working,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes that's that you're holding on to it too tightly.
Mm.
And you know, the really challenging thing is to just be like, you know, we'll just see which way it goes like that. I'm not right now. And when it goes to like when it does that, a lot of times it's doing a clearing. It's clearing the energy because we've been on for a while, so it's kind of clearing the energy. Energy can always be cleared. I'm having another pendulum class on February 4th. It's on my website.
Oh, there you go.
Sign up. I've gotten a few people signed up already, but I keep forgetting to mention it. And I also have so I have classes going on every Saturday. February 11th, the anniversary of the blizzard of 78. Right, Corey? You did the documentary.
Remember that one?
Nowadays, I would just be like normal. February 11th is Let Yourself Love Yourself. It's a class on self-love. That's going to be good. Alrighty, what you got?
Yeah, make sure you're really clear in that description, though, when you put that up.
That's the name of a class that I took in Nashville, so that's why I named it that.
Very nice.
People are just pigs, I'm telling you. Let yourself love yourself. Don't allow yourself to love yourself.
But not like a pig.
Your mind is in the gutter, Corey.
I'm just saying, just to clarify.
There's nothing profane about let yourself love yourself.
Right. Nothing.
Nothing. You want to do a poll on that?
I'll do it right now.
You think
Hold on.
love yourself is a weird thing to say?
What are we asking again? What's the name of your class?
Let yourself love yourself.
Is that really it? Wait, what did you say about self-love?
It's a class about self-love. Right? I think the title says it, but you decided to put some weird meaning on it. Well, that's good you're doing a poll. That'll make people aware that I'm having a class. A little PR there.
All right, we're just having fun in this chat, folks. So there you go. You can,
We're always having fun. That's what we're here for.
yeah, just dropping a little fish food in the tank there. Okay, good.
What did you write in the poll?
I can't remember how I phrased it. Let me see.
I can't imagine.
Should we be worried about a class about self-love?
That's a weird question. I'm not talking about being conceited and thinking you're better than everybody else. It's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about enjoying your experience of life because you're not into all the self-criticism all the time.
Right. Now, someone did ask in that, actually, are you going to have another tarot class?
Well, I keep threatening to put my tarot class up. It's just, I can't say yes to that because I really have to commit to 8 weeks of 2 hours a week, and I really want to do it at the castle again. The answer is yes, but I don't want to do it in this setting, because I got spoiled. Now anything, after that just doesn't seem as good. The answer is yes. Thank you for asking because it motivates me to get something together. And the one that I did teach is going to be for sale on my website. I have to get in touch with Andrew, who's got the TV studio, and have him do some edits and get that one. I have to sit with him and go through and edit that whole entire 16 hours.
That sounds enjoyable.
And then make it, it shouldn't take too long, but it's a project. And then once that's done, it'll be available on my website so you can learn to read the tarot in the comfort of your home.
Annette Deb Heck asks, will I go blind taking this self-love class?
Corey, do you see where you started? You're being bad.
It's a fair question.
Time out for Corey.
Deb asked it.
Everything has to get, degraded.
I know.
Can we keep everything on the up and up just to be different, America?
Yeah, once we get past hour number 2 on the show, things go down.
Do you remember when, on TV, like they couldn't show Elvis's hips?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah.
Not that was good, but I'm just saying we've come a really far away from that. I don't remember it, but I'm just saying that's what was going on then.
This is true. Annette, how about this question? Will the House be successful in blocking funding for the IRS?
I'm still on Elvis because it's a more lighthearted topic. Because I was thinking about so they wouldn't show Elvis below the waist, right?
Right.
And the married couples couldn't sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, I don't even think they could kiss.
They couldn't kiss on TV, right?
Maybe a kiss on the cheek. They could never kiss on the lips. It's weird.
Really? Was that true?
For a long time, those early 50s shows.
And then I guess in the 70s you could show a kiss on TV. There were many things that were taboo, but also in that era, like the 50s. I was talking to my parents about this the other night. Like Dean Martin would be on, I don't know, on some show, and he'd have a martini in his hand. There were people. They would just be drinking.
He had his own show.
They'd be getting just, plastered on TV. I was watching a little bit of a movie that was on HBO. I just caught a little bit of it about George Jones and Tammy Wynette.
Mm-hmm.
They called him No Show Jones because he's had a really bad alcohol problem. And he would just, people would be drunk on stage. Like Elton John was like wasted on the stage and, falling over, passing out. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
What were people doing? But you couldn't show Elvis below the waist.
Those were the days.
You couldn't because it was too, I don't know, suggestive.
Too risque. We couldn't handle that.
Yeah, well, it was in a lot of ways it was a saner time, but in a lot of ways it was crazy. But now there's just more people. So where there's more people, 8 billion people, there's going to be more insanity.
Hmm.
I'm just trying to dodge your question.
You don't like this one?
Well, read it again.
Will the House block funding for the IRS?
I see a fight. I see. Well, this is, what they're doing. I'll answer the question, but what they're doing is like, they're criminals. Imagine yourself being a criminal, robbing a bank, right? I'm not going to say anything until you look at me.
I'm right here. I'm with you.
Okay.
I had to
So
line
imagine
up the next
you're
question.
just because I'm talking to nobody when you turn, it's like
You're talking to 500.
No, I'm talking to the wall. Imagine you went and you robbed a bank, and the cops came and they arrested you. You robbed the bank, and then you turn around and you said, "I'm going to investigate you." It doesn't work that way. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way. So there's going to be a fight. I don't mean a fist fight, but you never know with what we saw last week. It could be a fist fight.
That would have been nice.
I didn't stay up that late. The whole thing
That would have been
was
so great.
The whole thing was like so much icky slime, like tar energy. I was reading a different deck the other night, and where is that? And I saw in the devil card, there's like these tendrils, these black tendrils in the devil card in the John Holland Oracle deck. And I went, that's what it looks like to me. That's what it's just like slimy, gross, dark tendrils. And so I couldn't watch it. I didn't see Kevin McCarthy getting elected or voted in. I didn't see any of that. I'm glad that I didn't. And then when I saw that they almost, somebody almost went after Matt Gaetz, which I can understand, but it's a total raucous rogue party that are fascists. It's unbelievable.
Wasn't it McCarthy that went after Gates?
No, it was what was his name? Roberts, maybe? I don't know. They can tell you in the chat. I forget what his name was. Reynolds, or for some reason I'm thinking his name started with an R.
I thought at one point those guys were like nose to nose, but I could be wrong.
No. They could have been. Well, what happened was the guy that grabbed him, I don't know who it was, but grabbed him from behind so he wouldn't die from Matt Gaetz. He grabbed him like he face masked him, like the football games when they grab the mask.
That's always when a lot of guys posture like that and they'll pretend they're going to fight, but it's not until someone holds you back. And that's when you want to fight. That's when things escalate. The second someone,
I think he would have fought.
Yeah. My
psychic impression is all logic and reason, if he had any to speak of, just left.
Rogers, they're saying.
Rogers.
McCarthy did go after Getz. I thought I saw that too. Okay.
Was that a different moment?
It was a clown show. It was a clown show.
It was a bad clown show. It was, how people are afraid of clowns? Well, You're not afraid of clowns if they're happy clowns. They're afraid of the evil clowns.
Annette has spoken.
So fired up tonight.
Evil clowns.
I'm channeling everybody's frustration. Well, I don't think they're going to be able to do that. That's a very complicated. They're going to investigate the IRS. I kind of lost track because it's such a befuddled, complete, what show that I don't even think they have any clue how they're going to do these things. I really don't. That is my psychic impression. I feel like they don't even have a clue how they're going to do these things. And they can't find their way out of a paper bag. Any of them. Like, do you think Kevin McCarthy knows what he's doing?
I think very few people know in that realm.
They don't even have a plan for any legislation at all. They're lazy. They're lazy, not legislators. They don't know how to write a bill. They don't know how to do the job. What are people thinking? Like Donald Trump, he didn't know how to do the job. Let's let that steep. They don't know how to do the job that they were elected, quotes, to do. And when people don't know what they're doing, so it's not only that they're heinous, horrible, evil human beings. If they're not, well, they're not showing any behavior that's contrary to that. Not only is it that, but they don't know how to do the job. So if you don't know what you're doing, I mean, if you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing, but you're trying to pretend that you know what you're doing, you distract, you obstruct, because you don't want it to be outed that you don't know what you're doing, right? It's like when you pretend that you read the book and then you just fudge it in your book report. And the teacher knows you were just fudging it because the information's not there. But you try to cover it up with a fake story. I'm going to hire somebody to stand here and to listen to me.
Are you going to do this?
I know. I'm going to get where's my stuffed animal? I don't have any here. I'm just going to get like a mannequin.
Something over there.
And I'm going to start talking to the mannequin.
You got to just scratch Sadhguru's beard. That'll calm you down a little bit.
When you're not
stroke his beard a little bit.
When you're not even looking at me and I'm talking to you,
well,
I'm gonna. So Sadhguru.
Well, we have the live chat's crazy. There's 500 plus. I think Thankful Mom. I don't know if Annalise is still there, but Christian's gone. It might just be Thankful Mom. And then, as we start to wind down with the questions I took last night, I start to look for other questions in the live chat too.
We got to figure this out. Maybe you can make an image of yourself looking straight ahead.
Yeah, I know. I should just have a cardboard cutout and just duck here.
Let's try that. You got the background going. I bet you could do that. So when you're not looking at me at all, and I've just gone on for minutes and I'm like talking to the wall.
I'm still listening.
No, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know it bugs you. Like it's hard.
We got to figure out a solution is what I'm saying. Like when we do the show in the side by side in the studio, that'll be, I won't go through this as much. I don't think.
Well, I would have either a printout of the questions, right?
You don't have them printed out?
No, I have them on a computer screen next to me.
You don't have them printed out?
No, I have them on a screen here.
You used to have them printed out.
Well, I don't need to hold. If I'm next to you, I haven't printed out because we don't have two screens. We just have the one screen.
I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to answer this question. It's taking me forever. The Three of Coins is coming up again too. So this is like starting from scratch with the fighting back. Like we've never been here before where members of our government want to investigate the IRS and just dismantle the IRS. Where would we be without the IRS? We're talking about infrastructure and all this, they wouldn't even get paid. That's how stupid they are. They wouldn't even get paid if they dismantled the IRS. How would they get paid? Is it just me? How are they even paid?
You might you might have to crack those pistachios after all.
It's hard to eat pistachios and do readings at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
What the hell are they doing? That's exactly what I was saying. They're so stupid. Kevin McCarthy, and it's not just my psychic impression. I have heard this from people that, on the news, people that know Kevin McCarthy. You know how many times I've heard people say the word on the street is he's really dumb. He's really not a smart man. And that's why it's funny, because I was mentioned that past life, and it's like, I feel like that's how he was when he was a king in the past life where the people beheaded him. He was just dumb. Maybe because he got beheaded, he just incarnated into.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid. Sorry.
You made yourself laugh today. That's good.
I know. It is funny.
Well, since we're on the topic, Annette, we actually do have this next question from Sandra Spidel. Does Annette see that McCarthy may be removed from his speaker position? Yeah.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think they would get in. Remember that? Boy, did I hear it about that. The pendulum said no consistently. And he is not Speaker of the House. He's hostage of the House. That he's not, he has no, there's nothing about that man that says Speaker of the House. He does not fit the job description. He cannot meet the criteria for that job. He's freaking clueless. He has no idea what he's doing. He didn't get in legitimately. He had to do all these deals. The pendulum said no consistently. He wasn't going to be Speaker of the House. What I didn't ask was, would he eventually get the votes? The question and this is the tricky thing about the pendulum, the question I was asking was, will he be Speaker of the House? And the pendulum reads the energy of a situation. I have a hard time explaining to people what's going on here. We're reading energy. The energy was no, 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 and 15 times. The energy was no, 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 until he got the votes. And the votes were because Matt Gaetz literally said, I finally voted for him because I couldn't think of anything else to make him give me, to ask for. So he sold out the United States of America. He sold us out to the fascists. We all need to bond together. Everyone has to come to my 20 on Tuesdays where we visualize, we use our minds to create a big thought form, to remedy, to correct this situation. He's not going to stay in that seat. And in fact, I feel people working on ousting him as we speak, behind closed doors. Will Kevin McCarthy be in this seat the entire month of January, the entire month of February, March, April, May? I'm surprised. June.
Outside.
Looks like in the summer he's going to be ousted. Could be sooner. Bubba's back.
Yeah, he's getting wound up. He needs to go OUT.
I'm picking. Well, you can. It's fine. Take him out. I won't even notice you're gone.
Oh, did you hear that, folks?
I'm picking 3 cards about Kevin McCarthy. And I'll tell the peeps what I'm getting. The peoples. Well, I have the Fool and the 7 of Swords. So I have, this is about Kevin McCarthy. I have the Fool, which is him, and the 7 of Swords, which is the thief. So, and then I have the Queen of Coins, which is indicative. I feel like some energy from Kamala Harris here. So we're asking, this is about reading the energy around Kevin McCarthy. The 7 of Swords is he's a thief. He stole that seat. He stole that from the American people. And the Fool is, he is a fool, like I was just talking about. And of course the Fool card popped up. And the Queen of Coins. There's some justice coming after him. There's a lot of dirt on Kevin McCarthy. I've always thought that he was clearly involved in January 6th. He was part of it. You can answer the next question.
Well, who comes after McCarthy then, if he's gone?
You know, it's funny because you said who comes after, and the thought that's most horrifying to me is that he's in line to be president.
And actually, Warren Green asked that question. Our buddy Warren.
Is that the next question?
He asked in the live chat
When?
just now. I swear to God.
That's the third time I've done that tonight.
Yeah.
What's his question?
Who comes after McCarthy?
So the assumption in that question is that
If McCarthy's a goner, right?
I don't feel like anybody. That's weird. I don't, it's funny. We have this Jim Jordan swamp creature to deal with. And that's aptly put. Jim Jordan is a swamp creature, and that's an insult to swamp creatures. He is. What were people thinking? I mean, the ones that actually did vote for these people, which there was a lot of voter suppression going on. So, we have that to deal with too. I'm picking 3 cards. I feel like too, just going back to Swalwell and Omar and Schiff, I do want to read a little bit more on that. I do still feel it's a little hard to get perspective because of what's going on, but I do still feel like the Democrats are going to win. They need our help. We're them. We are them. The people that are fighting for us, that are our representatives, and the Democrats, we have the Senate, it's really close. It's really, it's a thin margin that the Republicans are up by, very thin. I don't think that the Republicans will have the House. And I've been saying that all along. They're not going to keep the House. And I happen to pull the death card. There's going to be a major change. And this is funny because I get this card a lot about Kevin McCarthy. It's going to be hell, but out of the hell, we're going to have something good happen after that. The death card is a big ending. This is about Kevin McCarthy. And temperance is we just have to be patient. We have to say our prayers. We have to send light to the Democrats. We have to do whatever we can to save our democracy. I feel like a broken record, but I do have a group, and it's not very, very many people. Come join us and save our country from fascism. So through his horribleness, when he's ousted, after he's done, and it's looking like he won't make it through the year as speaker. And I'm surprised that the pendulum didn't say it would be sooner that he would be ousted. It could be. But June, July, he's out of there. Temperance is just be patient, just keep praying, keep holding the intention. I've gotten the 10 of Wands about Kevin McCarthy before. It's going to be devastating what's going on in this country, but something new and better will grow as a result. I'm telling you, the guides told me, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Donald Trump came in and made a wreck of our democracy, so we would fix it. We would be forced to fix it. We kind of only learn by losing what we have, you know what I mean? It's the law of contrast. When we have something that we definitely for sure experience, and we know for sure we don't ever want that again, it's terrible. We crave the opposite of it so strongly that creates a huge momentum of energy, a huge wave of energy to push us towards what we do want. So not having our freedoms is going to make us all rise up and just create this huge wave of energy that fixes it.
All right, a few things here, Annette. Roxy is asking, when is your democracy meeting?
Thank you for asking. If you go to my website, psychicannettedion.com, you can sign up there. Thursday night, that's tomorrow night, we meet for 1 hour for a discussion group. I added the Saturday group shortly after I started the Grassroots of Democracy. I added it as a work time. So Thursday night, 7 to 8 Eastern is our discussion group. We meet in a Zoom room. Saturday, we meet from 4:30 to 6, always on Zoom. And we do tasks on Saturday. We talk about what's going on, what we need to do about it. And then we spend 25 minutes quietly working. And we do 3 segments of that. 5 minutes of talking, 25 minutes of doing some work, and it's great. And after a whole year, we're all friends. We're all friends. It's we're in the era of virtual friendships. And so we really do, we have a good time. We joke, we kid around, we get the work done. That's how it should be. That's what democracy is.
Well, and piggybacking on that,
go ahead.
Warren says, Corey, tell the psychic that the 20 on Tuesdays group is powerful, very powerful with the energy that is circulated by the group. And Roberta Kelly follows up and says, agree with Warren, attend 20 on Tuesdays.
Those are my peeps. You have your peeps over there. I have my peeps. Yeah, they're regular. And I have people, we are all like, it's the same core group that's showing up every week. And a few extra people have been coming. I mean, a few additional people have been coming. It's like, we're really getting so much done. And then we have Terry, who's now my assistant, who is brilliant at recapping the entire meeting with links, with all these tasks, with books. It's just, you will not run out of things to do to help to save our country. So, and I'm just really grateful that we're still doing this. We have to, it's gonna grow.
Ring the bell, Annette, ring the bell.
I know, I have that ring the bell look. Ringing the bell.
Because Yoon has joined us from Singapore.
It's a little better late than never.
Good morning, Yoon. 9 a.m. in Singapore, folks. 9 p.m. here in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Welcome to another edition of the Psychic and the Sidekick. She's the Psychic, Annette Dion. You can book a personal reading, a private reading with Annette at psychicannetteDion.com. And you can follow her at Annette Dion. Right here, just
psychicannetteDion.com.
Yeah, and Psychic News Network, Annette Dion on YouTube. She has her own channel. She's on all the time there, so follow her there. And I'm Corey from Bridge Cape Ann. Annette and I do the show every Wednesday evening, 6:30 Eastern time, with all of you and answer your questions in real time. And I actually go on the night before, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern for an hour and a half, actually until Yoon shows up to take your questions for these Annette shows. So welcome.
Yoon slept in, I think.
Yeah, she said she didn't know that we were on last night or today. We were on both last night and today.
Well, she knows you're on.
I don't know why she missed us, but she missed us.
I guess we're not the first thing on her list. I'm sure she has more important things to do.
Like sleep. She's a sleeper. She likes to sleep in.
Well, that's okay.
But welcome you and welcome everybody. But now you tell me how much longer you want to go here. We do have more questions.
I'm sure there's a ton of questions. Let me see. How about 10 more minutes?
Okay.
That sound good?
Yep. And the next question comes from Melissa Ruzica. Melissa Ruzica. Will the Dems gain more Senate seats in 2024?
I've heard that last name before.
Yeah.
Where is she from? Did she say where she's from?
She's from here. I can't remember if it's Slovakian, Ružička, Czech or Slovakian, maybe.
That's where but where does she live?
I think she lives in the States, but that's
just a side note. I have a song on my record called Marla, and that was Marla's last name. And she was an aid worker who was like
really
this selfless human being. Her name was Marla Ruzica.
Wow.
But she died. She was helping the people in Iraq and Afghanistan, mostly Iraq, I think. And she was helping the people. She started an organization called Civics, a coalition for innocent victims in conflict. This was back in probably 2005. She was killed by a suicide bomber that pulled up in a vehicle behind her as she was driving to the airport she was meeting with like the generals and everything to get the United States to fund the poor citizens that were victims of war. So her name was Marla Ruzicka. And I wrote a song about her. It's the second song on my record. Anyway, you just mentioned that, and I hadn't ever heard that last name before, besides Marla. What's the question about the Senate?
Yeah, well, the Dems gain more Senate seats in 2024.
Yes. This thing that we're in right now is making people have a huge, insatiable appetite for democracy.
Mm.
I mean, let me just make a point that I had heard that when back a long time ago, when the Republicans started harassing Bill Clinton and impeached him for having an affair with an intern, which was the terrible thing to do. That's when it kind of all like, this doesn't have anything to do with running the country. Why are we spending time and resources on this? Anyway, his poll numbers went way up. So I'm just saying that to make the point that when you start going after the president like that, you start going after people like that are in positions where they're doing work for the country and they're just doing their job the best they can. And then they get attacked. The American people hate that. So this is going to, in the long run, particularly when we all get involved, this is going to turn the tide for Americans to really be fighting for the Democrats to win. As it stands right now, because of Trump, I have the Psychic News Network, and there's a lot of psychics on YouTube that started because of Trump. And what we've done is we've created a collective community. And I always, since I discovered Midas Touch, I always tell people to join, to subscribe to Midas Touch. Those guys are really dedicated. There are a lot of YouTube channels that are for democracy. And when we all organize and we all mobilize and we link up and mobilize, we will save our democracy from these fascist low-life idiots. And I'm not just name calling, I'm reading their energy. It's despicable. When these human beings, if you can call them that, and I know I'm being vicious, but it's for a reason, are attacking people they're doing good work for others. We can't stand for that. We cannot stand for that. Yes, the Democrats will take everything back. We're not that far away from that. So let's not get all like, definitely don't do that. And one other thing I'll say is that, and the guys at Midas Touch brought this up, and I think it's a really good point to make. Fascism wins when it wears you down. So let's not get worn down. That's why the guide said to me, find your inner Ukrainian, find your inner Zelensky, find that, I don't need a ride, I need weapons. Not that we're talking about violence, but we need to fight back to save democracy. They will, the Democrats will. And, and I'm going to say we will, because we're all in this is all of us together. They're called our representatives for a reason. They're supposed to be our voice. So let's make the voice of the Democrats, the compassionate people who help and who care. Let's make the voice of the Democratic representatives the loudest voice so that the Republicans just get blown away. We do in our guided meditation, we do visualize them, on their way, the Republicans. Do you have another question? Because I think I just answered that one.
Lori Kimmerly, will Georgia indict in 2 weeks?
Yes. I mean, I'll check the pendulum on that, but I already did ask. We'll see what it says. Yes. You know what? And the other thing is the fuel for the fire is burning. That's a strong yes. The desire to hold these criminals accountable is very, 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 very high. It's very motivating. When they start, going after Jack Smith's wife, Joe Biden's wife. Yeah. It's like, it's they don't know what's coming. That's not a threat. I'm just saying they don't, because Democrats haven't really fought back. Just metaphorically speaking, Democrats haven't really fought back. I do want to point everyone to Joy Reid was interviewing the MAGA congressman they were saying they wanted to vote him in as speaker. Just a few people were saying that. Daniels. And she really took him to task. And it was beautiful to witness. All this, the bullying that the MAGA Republicans do, the bullying, rather than answer the question, just talking over that. I'm so tired of that. So tired of that. But that's a really good clip if you want to look that up, anybody.
Good.
Next question.
Next question comes from Kara Glenn and Warren Green. Both ask, will George Santos resign?
He was asked to resign today and he refused. I think the Brazilian government is going to come get him. Let's see. Because I felt Brazil is apparently a lot more strict with their law enforcement than the United States. Have we noticed? They arrested all the insurrectionists. That insurrection in Brazil looked so much like, it was like, it was as if they watched movies of January 6th, which they they did, I'm sure. And they copied it. It's so much the same. But what's not the same is the Brazilian, law enforcement arrested them. So anyway.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one from a longtime follower, Elizabeth Martinez. Hola, amigo Corey. Is it true that they removed the metal detectors at the Capitol? Why would they do that?
I've been trying to figure that out myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been trying to figure out if they did in fact do that. Because I know they were talking about it and I've gotten different opinions about it.
Yeah, feel free to chime in, live chatters.
Did they actually take away the metal detectors? They did. Are there safeguards? And are there safeguards in the Capitol? Yeah, so they must have something. Yeah, they have other safety, devices in place. So that's the other thing, why we have to support the people that are representing us. Because would you go to work if you had been through? Would you go to work in the same building if you had gone through January 6th in that building and almost lost your life?
Right. Like there's no way you would remove metal detectors from courthouses.
So I got that there are safeguards in place. So that must have been like really reinforcement after January 6th happened. Plus during that time, there were like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I think, or I know some of them were showing up with guns. I don't want to name names if I don't know who exactly, but I'm just going to. I recall Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I couldn't point to the article that said that they had done that. They're very brave. I'm telling you, these Democrats are very brave. And they're also divinely guided. So they know, I don't know, their guides are helping them. Good will win. Love will win. It will.
How about this question from PC? Will the recently released book by the late Pope's longtime aide, Nothing But the Truth, rock the Vatican?
I don't know anything about the book.
Me neither.
How
Well,
long
you
have
have-
we? How long have we been saying the Catholic Church is done?
Right. I was just literally just going to say that. I mean, you've been saying this
Yeah.
for a long time now.
Yeah. Catholic Church is done. And I told you a few times on this channel, they fired me for being a witch. It's not like I was a devout Catholic. I just had a job playing the piano.
Annette, do you see Kamala Harris as a Supreme Court judge?
No. But she did come up around the McCarthy issue. Isn't it that if anything, I'm not saying anything would happen, I'm just speaking in general terms of the way the government works. If the president wasn't able to fulfill his duties, isn't it the vice president that steps in?
Mm-hmm.
And because they were saying that on the news, they were saying Kevin McCarthy is second in line to the president, and that's maybe they meant after Kamala. So, all right. Anyway, what else?
How about this one from Miss Orchid's Garden? Question for Annette. Will Val Demings, who ran for the Senate last November against Marco Rubio and lost, be back into national politics? That name
Yes.
do anything for it? Yeah.
Yes, she should have won. Val Demings should have won. I'm telling you, I sound like a broken record, but when we get behind these people, they can win. And Val Demings, and I'm learning. I'm really learning that when I don't like to read on elections and that kind of thing. I'm really learning that what I'm picking up on when I use the pendulum to see who will win, I'm picking up on the energy of the people that want them to win. And the voter suppression is a huge problem. Huge. We're not a democracy. We are a democracy in failure mode right now. We're not a true democracy. We really have to work on it. Have I made my point?
Oh.
Again and again and again. Everybody get involved. That's what the guys are saying. They won't shut up about it.
How about this one from Linda Johnson? Can you ask Annette if there will be CRISPR kits for anyone to buy for home use to alter DNA for cures for diseases?
I just feel like you just spoke a different language.
Yeah.
I don't understand that question at all.
Yeah. People drop in these CRISPR kits every now and then.
What is that? What is it? Because as soon as you said it, I was like, is that how you keep your lettuce fresh?
CRISPR is a family of DNA sequences found in the genomes of prokaryotic organisms such as bacteria and archaea. These sequences are derived. I don't know.
All over my
22,
head.
in a proceeding at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, they decided that the inventor for the U.S. patent covering application of CRISPR.
Was that on Shark Tank or something?
I don't friggin' know.
I'm clueless.
I got in this bizarre. I was at a reception after a funeral this week, and one of the waitresses there at this reception was telling me how Hollywood elites they they drink the blood of young people, but they get those young people wound up first, so adrenaline runs through their blood because then there's something in that blood.
They have a big Q on their shirt. This
Yeah,
person.
and then they drink the blood of the young, thinking that it's going to give them this antidote in their bloodstream. And
that's somebody that you met here
that was someone gainfully employed
on the
here.
island.
Yeah. Like, well, you know about the Hollywood elites, right? Like, no, no,
You
no.
know this, you know this person
Yeah,
personally?
a little bit. I didn't
You
know
guys,
this about her. And then she went on that like a 10-minute thing, like all of that. I was like, so that's what they're doing. She's like, yeah.
you said that?
Yeah. What do you do after 8 minutes
You
of
already
crazy
into
town?
it? You drank the Kool-Aid with her?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, run with that.
We don't see a lot of that here where we live. So
You can't save them all. My God.
wow.
All right. CRISPR is gene editing. It's a machine that replicates genes.
Like Levi's or Wranglers.
Use it for future medical advancements. So yeah, it's a thing. We just don't know about that thing.
What was the question? What's the
Will there be CRISPR kits? This CRISPR technology will be the kits for anyone, like basically home kits. So you can alter DNA for cures for diseases and when. Let's put that off, Linda, for let's say that's the next generations might deal with that.
Oh, I can't even wrap my mind around that. Sorry. I'm not making fun of your question. I'm just like,
Well, we don't know.
that just felt like it was out of left field.
I don't want to ask that question. Let's wrap things up, Annette.
Yeah, because we're almost there.
You want to end with a community card?
Yeah, if you don't have any fun questions.
I wouldn't say the one what I have left isn't fun.
Aw, well, I hope we lightened it up somewhat
Yeah.
because things are heavy, but it's all like Dr. Wayne Dyer, God rest his soul, would always say, and he's still with us. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So we can look at these times as pivotal. We all get involved. We collectively decide the future, the world that we want to live in, and we do it, we intend it. And when we change the way we look at what's going on, we look at this as the law of contrast. At work, we've seen major stark contrast. That's an opportunity for us to choose clearly and really emphatically and strongly what we do want to create. There's no better moment of clarity than when you see exactly what you don't want.
Can we sneak in one more question?
Sure.
It's a toughie, but this is from Lavon Whelan's been with us all night. Ned, do you think that Israel will go to war with Iran?
God, I hope not.
That would be a bad one.
What's happening in Iran is hell on earth. Like Ukraine, it's hell on earth. It's literally hell on earth. That's hell. We do need to pray for them. No, I see intervention. I see something intervening and preventing that from happening. It's kind of like, and the energy around it is like, you better not. I got that around Putin though too, and he went ahead. So it's a real strong warning from other countries. You might not want to do that. So I thought you were going to give me a light question.
No, there aren't any more light questions.
Okay. Can you think of one?
Are you going to come by for your gifts tonight?
Is it cold out? I didn't bring my warm jacket.
I'll just text me and I'll run it out to you.
Okay. So I really didn't. I don't know. Is it very cold out or what's going on?
Yeah, it's cold. It's cold, but it's not windy, which is good.
It was cold this morning. 3 community cards. So the rest of the week, just so people know, I pretty much, I'm on a schedule of going on live on Friday nights at 7. And it's kind of like this. And I don't go quite this long, but often 2 hours. Why does it go so long? I don't know. I don't know. You kind of get on a roll and you're just like, let's just keep going. And on Sunday, I have Church of Spirituality. I would really like to get 1,000 views. It's an excellent time of just peacing out and being in spiritual fellowship virtually. And please check it out. It'll give you spiritual upliftment, I promise. And if you book a reading with me for the month of January, I will send you an autographed copy of my book. If you would like to receive this free gift, just indicate when you book a reading, say yes, that I want to get this free book, and I will autograph it for you and send it to you. And this week, we're going to see a lot of darkness. This is the devil card. Remember, I was doing the sound effects last time? This is the Republicans in full-on demonic possession mode. I'm not even kidding. It's going to look like that. It's going to look like that to us. The Seven of Cups is they're trying to fake you out. This is smoke and mirrors. The Republicans they're calling our bluff. We're going to call their bluff. They're faking that they know what they're doing. They're trying to scare the hell out of everybody, and they are from hell. They are from hell. The Knight of Cups indicates we're going to hear little dribs and drabs about Jack Smith and justice coming for them. These people, let's just lay it right on the table. These people tried to take down our government violently. They're insurrectionists, seated. It's 147 of them are seated in Congress that were part of the insurrection. We're in the midst of an attempted fascist takeover. They're not going to win. But that's what the devil card and the Seven of Cups is about. One way that fascism, one tactic that fascism uses also is not only just beating you down till you give up. Think Putin in Ukraine. But also, I'm just using that as an example of how that's the worst case scenario, the most extreme example. But as long as we don't get afraid, we'll be okay. And I really feel like have faith that justice is in the works and it's coming from all different angles, and we will be okay. But I just want to forewarn everybody, it's not going to be the easiest week. So have ways of taking breaks and peacing out. The guides gave me a vision today of what it's like when people become quiet and meditative. And it was like, it's kind of like, it's a weird image of like like we're all little seeds in this like gel, or we're all part of the same plasma. It's like plasma, we're all part of the same, we're all part of it. And whatever happens in one area, you might think of an amoeba or something, like whatever's happening there affects the whole entire thing. Or you could think of it as a cell, right? Whatever happens in the cell is affecting the entire cell. So if there's a virus gets in or something, it affects the whole cell. So what's happening with one person affects the whole organism. So just keep that in mind. And when you get freaked out and fearful because you're watching what's going on the news, just go, I need to bring it down, be peaceful, because that affects the whole organism. I've said enough.
All right, so it's going to be a tricky week, but to occupy your week until Annette and I meet again, you can follow Annette on her channel, all right, the Psychic News Network, or just look up Annette Dion here on YouTube. You can watch the replay of this show if you want to get in another live chat Friday night, 7 p.m., Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll do that. Next Tuesday, I will be live with change worker and hypnotherapist Linda Sabo at noon on Tuesday as we test out a French studio and work on that for a little bit. And then I'll be back Tuesday night, 7 p.m. to field your questions for the Annette Show, which is every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. We have to thank our moderators, Thankful Mom and Annalie Finch. As always, I put in yeoman's hours tonight. So we really appreciate that. And then, of course, all of you tuning in, especially the newbies. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate it. It keeps us going. And it was great seeing some new handles and a lot of familiar names, as always. And thanks again, of course, to everyone who sent us gifts or just nice, cards and correspondence. We really appreciate it. And tipping the channel as well. Really appreciate that, too. So, Annette, great job, as always. Thank you for your gift. Right?
Thank you for all that you do, Corey. It's a long show for you. 3 hours?
3 hours, and now we're into the newsletter and to buttoning up this show. But hey, we love doing it. So there is that. So I'll see you in a little bit, right? Shoot me a text when you swing by.
Okay.
I'll have that ready for you. Okay.
Half an hour.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Annette. We'll see you soon.
Thanks. Namaste. See ya. Take care.
Bye. Okay. Thanks, everybody. That was great. We'll keep an eye on the community tab, but you can always sort of bank on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. and then Wednesday nights with Annette too for another edition. So thanks for all the kind words. We see them all. I just can't chime in as often as I want to because we have to keep an eye on the psychic and keep her focused. So there is that. So, okay. Have a great night, folks. We'll see you on the other side of the weekend. Until next time, adios for now.